little glitch. Callie, yay! And I'm messing up already. All right. Welcome everyone to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. I'm not angry. I'm just like embarrassed. Little tech problems, but it seems to be kind of fixed, maybe. And I want to welcome everybody to the show. I want to hear what you think. And that's what the show's about. This week's discussion topics, as always, are anything you feel is newsworthy about racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption. And sadly, that's kind of everything in America right now. That means everything. The show is meant to be an opportunity for you guys to voice your opinions and your thoughts and your feelings, and to serve as a tool for white people to learn about systemic racism. And, it's kind of interesting. I've seen what being on a certain level of understanding does, and it never works out for white folks. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit at the beginning, and then I want to hear what you guys have to say. Something I've noticed for white folks. Because if you can't just kind of get it and go, yeah, systemic racism is really bad. Well, that's great, but there's so much to it. It's a little complicated. So before I begin, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Angry Soccer Mom, more nervous and disappointed than angry, actually. And my kids don't play soccer. I don't even know if they know how, all of them. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so if you think you like it. I do tons of videos. Some are nasty and mean and kind of in your face. And they're not meant to be. They're just basically like rants, I guess you could say. And some are educational. I was a teacher for a number of years, and part of my teaching experience was in Compton, California during the LA riots. And so I got to see firsthand what these little guys are living like in an area that was redlined. And at the time, our government really didn't give a shit. And it was a horrible, horrible thing for these little babies. They were my first children. I didn't have kids. So I had each of them for 2 years straight, and I was young then, so it really had an impression on me. Jamie, yay! Well, I'm so happy you're here. Mario, welcome. Thanks for telling me you couldn't hear me. I wouldn't have known. Hi, Gary. Oh my gosh. Now, you guys, I want you to jump in anytime, because there's a lot going on, and we're getting closer and closer to. This is all just so surreal. Did anyone out there think that in your lifetime we'd be watching basically a late democracy? The government, Nelson Butler, the government still doesn't give a shit. Yeah, it's terrifying. Did anyone think that in our lifetime, maybe I'm just naive, but I just didn't think that we'd be seeing late stage democracy in my lifetime, where we go for the split of either, adding some socialism and some humanism, or dictatorship. I just thought we had like years, but apparently not so much. And that's what this election means for me personally, from a historical vantage point. Yay! So I just have a couple quick announcements, and we will get started. I wanted to thank everyone who's been sending me breaking news, which I appreciate, because I can't keep up with the turnover is like really fast. And if you want to get a hold of me privately, ever, to say hi or just anything, jump right onto there. And I always have people call me during the show, not on the show, like my phone. They just, for some reason, I get like 15 calls during the show. I was like, I'm kind of doing a live show, but oh my gosh, it cracks me up. But anyway, if there's anyone you think I should be hanging out with, that I should know about, and I'm not coordinating with, please let me know. Kelly, every day is the Twilight Zone with everything. Oh my God, I could not have said it better. And personally, I can't seem to normalize it. Just every time I'm shocked. Mario, I like your little eyes. It's like your little trademark. I always know when you're there when I see those eyes. Should I call it? Yeah, actually, in a little bit after the rant, Nails and Glitter, I would love you to call in tonight. And let me give the number for anyone who wants to call in. I'm going to do a little mini rant. And if you want the number, this is it. It's 347 Yay, kitchen politics. I'm excited you're here. 347-732. Actually, I will just put it right here. 5284. Oh, awesome. Okay, sweet. There it is. I would love it if you could call in. I'm pretty sure I'm set up for that. Let me just do my rant and then we'll go with it. I have a small rant. I wasn't going to do a rant because, we have so much to talk about, with Biden and Harris, and I want to know what you think. I have tons of people who have lots to say about it. I want to ask you really fast. This week, I posted a video about John Brown. A handful of people watched it with me live last Friday, and I was really appreciative of that. It was just, I've never studied, abolitionists other than, the basic ones you get in school. And I was blown away. And I'll be really personal about it. I was blown away by the fact that this person had the wherewithal way before the Civil War was ever going to happen, that slavery and enslaving another human being was wrong. And a lot of the abolitionists of the time, they were abolitionists, but they really didn't think Black people were equal. They just knew it was cruel what they were doing, and maybe they should just go live somewhere else. Or they didn't have this guy. Oh my God, this man, like quoted, "They are my sisters and brothers," and he lived it, and he died for it, absolutely, knowingly and purposefully. And I rarely bring up white folks in this conversation because it's just so often done inappropriately. And this is my first time ever going, damn, he wasn't just someone who was kind of, maybe he was a real thing. I cried during it, I swear to God. So I know I keep saying that, but it takes a lot to make me just so touched. Like it was crazy. But anyway, if you do have a chance to watch it, the first 20 minutes are kind of boring, but after that, oh my God, it's really good. And then wanted to say my friend Mario, who I'm thrilled that I met, is an amazing video. He's a speaker. He has so much to say. He makes great videos. And I got in touch with him because I saw his video and I was like, holy crap. Hi, Mr. F. Black. Hello, welcome. Thanks for being here. I was like, this guy's so good. And I didn't realize it, but he has this amazing platform on Facebook and on YouTube. And he is just awesome. I love his videos, and I hope you guys check out his videos. He's really, really down to earth. He gets it. It's awesome. So he might call in tonight a little bit later, maybe. And hopefully he's watching a little bit. He really, when I saw his stuff, I'm like, okay, this guy's got to be like really famous. And so let's make him famous. He's really good. So I hope you like him too. And he doesn't just do things on, like, I'm pretty much sticking to, anti-racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption. Oh, you're here, Mario. Yay. Oh, don't thank me. You have earned it. You're really, really good. And he does a variety of topics. It's inspirational. It's motivating. It's just, I don't know about you, but sometimes I just need to, you know it in your head. You just need to have someone else say it, and say it like they mean it, and say it like they believe it. I don't know. Is anyone else like that? Just, I don't know. Sometimes you're not always feeling strong, and it's just good to get, an affirmation that, yes, you're on the right track and you got this. So I love his videos. And is there a link? You know what? Maybe they're on the bottom of all his videos that I've put up on the, the part below the video descriptions. But maybe he could, if you don't mind, type in, where people can get a hold of you. Anyway, if they want to go directly to the source. So today I'm going to do a quick rant, and then let's talk about what you think about Biden and, perfect. And Kamala and just the whole thing, because I get the feeling this is just the beginning, sadly. Vernon, yay. Great to have you, Vernon. And Jamie, I never thought in my life our government would become so corrupt and have a president so racist and no leadership skills and destroying our democracy. Jamie, absolutely. I feel the same way. I always knew, I wasn't one of those white people who was like, oh, everything's beautiful. Not at all. I mean, systemic racism is as old as this nation in so many disgusting ways, but just the blatant, just how it's so blatant. Beef 99, welcome from Florida. Super great to have you. So I just didn't think it would be that blatant. I don't know. What do you guys say? I mean, it's crazy. So here goes my rant. I'll do it really fast and then we'll get into the real substance. My rant today is about children going back to school and how we have let this get so normalized and out of control. We have thousands of people dying every day still. The results are in for children because I think a lot of people start earlier. Global entertainment TV. We're going to be talking about lots of stuff. Welcome to the show. I'm just going to do a quick rant and then we're going to get into it. The results are back for the first set of poor little guinea pig children. And I say guinea pig because they're guinea pigs. The people don't even have plans. These districts have no clue what they're doing. I've been watching and reading and it's really scary. The results are in and kids are going back to school while COVID virus is rampant. And it hasn't exactly been shocking to anyone who passed fourth grade science. I don't mean to be demeaning, but this is ridiculous. Of course, everybody wants kids to go back to school and parents to go back to work and life to become more normalized. But for the love of God, I mean, nothing, our nation is wealthy. We live, I'm sorry, it's the truth. We live in a wealthy nation. Now, the wealth isn't exactly spread evenly, but we pay taxes. And I'll tell you, have you ever noticed how there's always money to be coughed up for things like war? You know, things like building a new headquarters for the FBI somewhere. Things for building a taller wall around the White House when you're a really, really sucky leader. All right? We suddenly have money to build this 13-foot wall. Where does this money come from? We have no money for testing and no money for, actually doing something. Do you ever notice how we're the only nation that's struggling horrifically with this pandemic in the sense, the only nation with, compared to comparable other nations. And really, we're doing the worst in the entire world, basically. And we're one of the wealthiest nations. And see, here's the problem. America could easily tide us over momentarily, just, to get us through this, like so many other nations are doing. But it's just, Kelly, exactly. It's not our priorities. Human life is not our values, I guess. I don't know what to say. Or people would be going crazy. They'd be going nuts. I don't get it. Why is everybody okay with this? Maybe your states are doing well, but people, I don't know how people are eating and getting food. I don't know how people are living. So I'm just saying, we pay taxes, so we would simply get our own tax money back for a while so we could shelter in place and we'd be up and running. We would have been up and running months and months ago. I mean, this is insanity. But here's the problem. We don't want to. Trump and his clan want business as usual. And this is called, it's very simple, money over human life, greed over human life. The wealthiest elites are screwing us all. Every last one of us. If you're not a multimillionaire, billionaire, then you are one of us, the masses. And this nation is being destroyed because this nation doesn't work for the people anymore. How do I know this? Well, there's a lot of things that the people want. The people actually want certain things like common sense gun laws. The statistics alone are out of control, including everybody, not just saying Democrats or independents, yet we don't have it. We're run by corporations, like you need me to tell you this. So here's my question. Exactly what has to happen for us to say, wow, this is really serious? I think we need to take some extreme measures and use money so that we've put aside to subsidize Americans so we can survive a pandemic and keep our economy going. What has to happen? Who has to die? I want to know, because this is the most extreme I've ever lived through. I don't know about you guys. And we have a president who doesn't really give a flying you know what. We have hundreds of other nations to look at as examples who came before us. This world is a big place. Are we simply too ethnocentric and arrogant and ignorant to look at other nations and see how they're dealing with the pandemic? And, they dealt with it months and months and months before us. What is happening? What is the matter? And where is the public outcry? Is there just too much going on that people can't keep up? We have done the worst out of every comparable nation. And it's not a contest. It's just the worst means deaths. If somebody I love dies from this, I'm going to lose it, because there's no reason. I don't get why people who have loved ones dying aren't absolutely furious. I mean, and almost up in arms furious. This administration allowed our loved ones to die. I get this is a pandemic. I get nobody has a cure. So that's when you take extreme measures to make sure you do I'm not saying we have to be perfect, but the best we can. This is not the best we could have done. This isn't even close. And I don't get why people aren't absolutely furious. I don't get it. There is nothing more important than our fellow humans of the world. There's nothing. You can't buy back a life. I'm sorry. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, and I'm going to take tons of comments, but he is responsible. He and his administration and every last stinking one of them who sat there and did nothing when they saw this. And oh my God, was he warned over and over and over before he even took office. He is responsible for tens of thousands of people who have untimely deaths and total anguish. And I don't get why people aren't absolutely, I get it. Maybe they are. I don't know, but nothing I've seen. I get it. He wants to be a dictator. And we get that. He circumvented the spirit of the Constitution at every turn. And now, for all practical purposes, he is above the law. And, he's special. He loves to be special. He lives in this fantasy world of lies. And nearly 40% of our nation is right there with him. Do you guys know people who are Trump supporters? Who are just, and they have their reasons. Do you talk to them? Have you stopped talking to them? Have you given up? Is it just too hard? It's like they won't listen. Tell me. I want to know, because lucky me and my white privilege living in this little house of mine, I don't talk to anyone who's a Trump supporter anymore. It's just how it kind of has turned out. The man is living in a freaking fantasy world, and he's taken us down with him. Okay. Just like a guy in an office who sees he's going to be fired and he screws the company over. He's also given himself an honorary MD, and people actually listen to him. Apparently, he knows more about medical issues and biology and science than our world's most brilliant scientists. It's like people are following him. It's unbelievable. Trump gets tested twice a day, and he has contact tracing, and I believe all of his staff does as well. He's not living in the world we're living in. Okay. Do you think he's waiting 10 days for the results of a test? He gets round-the-clock free health care, while a majority of Americans do not have health care, or, listen to this, have health care, but it's so damn expensive with deductibles and copays, they can't use it or they'll get bankrupt. Last I checked, and this was years ago, 50% of the people who file for bankruptcy do so because of medical bills. Each and every one of us are about, even the wealthy ones, are about one or two catastrophes, medical horrors away from losing it all. And all in a healthcare system that's for profit. For profit. The craziest part is they keep following him. The people who follow him, they could really use free college. No offense intended, but they really could use some education and free college. Okay, I'm just saying. Universal medical care, they could really use universal health care. And the chance at the American dream being real. But they're just, all I can decide or determine is that they're so thrilled with how racist he is, they'll throw everything away, their healthcare, their nation, because our nation is being thrown away, our children's chance at living a good life, all to keep racism alive and thriving. And one more thing while I'm at it, all this fake news BS, well, is it logical or even sane to I was just thinking about today, to think that, is this logical or even sane? Fox News is the real news, and every other news outlet in the entire world, because we got the whole world right at our fingertips here with the internet, is conspiring together to fool everybody. So, you do the math. I don't even think they're considered real news in some countries. They're considered entertainment. Do you really think the news outlets across the world that are reporting actual news are into one big conspiracy, and that these brilliant people at Fox News are the only ones who get this? I guess my question is, how can people watch Fox News and remain humane and actually believe that it's the world against them? It has become state news, just like Hitler, just like all of the dictators that take over. He's following suit. I made this conclusion 3+ years ago, and I'll say it again. I know exactly why people vote for Trump again and again and again, and why I think he's going to win. And that's because nothing else matters in life. No food, no medical care, no shelter. As long as Trump supporters can say, I may be broke, I may have, and this I don't mean this to be nasty. I truly believe they think this. I may be broke, I may have no health insurance, can't afford college. Hell, I'm underemployed. I don't have a job. My family's living paycheck to paycheck. If I even get a paycheck, we can hardly afford food. Our kids are being, I don't know. My kids are going to be sent back to schools with crowded classrooms. They'll be vulnerable to the coronavirus, and that means all our family will be too. But at least I'm not Black, because in America, we blame everything on Black people. I just want to know if we're winning yet, because I'm still waiting. Rant over. I'm just so sick of this. And I'm a white person. I can't imagine how non-white folks are just wanting to throttle. I think this is what they think. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it. And I can't help it. What else could it be? We love our racism so much. In America, we're willing to give up everything just to say, I don't know if you say this, that I've done nothing. If the best thing in life you've ever done is be born white, dude, you got issues. I'm sorry, you do. And I don't hate white people. I expect more from white people. You don't stand around and watch. People doing rotten things to your fellow humans. You just don't. This is not some great epiphany. It's common freaking sense. So this has just killed me. Personally, this has killed me watching these people just be like, go about their business. And it is a terrible analogy. I use it every time. You probably want to slap me, but think about this. Do you walk by somebody who's slowly drowning in a pool because, you didn't build the pool? Of course not. Do you walk by somebody or your fellow humans who are struggling in a pool because you didn't shove them in? I hope not. What the hell's wrong with us? Why don't we care about each other? I'm not, I'm kind of like yelling to you all. You are the last people that need this rant, but hopefully other people can watch this and I don't get it. We're here for such a short amount of time. We make ourselves so special. Why can't we just make life nice for people? All right, I swear I'll shut up now. I'm going to take comments, and then we'll go on to the real topics of the night. Let me see. Oh no, you almost missed it. You almost missed it again. Global entertainment, and I was supposed to. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was supposed to tell you. I almost missed it. I'm sorry. Welcome, Beef 99. welcome. And we're going to talk about the election and anything you want to talk about. We got lots to talk about. Global entertainment. I'm happy you're here. excuse me, global entertainment. That's what this country is based on, the original sin. And we've never admitted to it. And, people always are saying reparations, reparations. A lot of white folks don't even know what that is. Maybe they do now, but they didn't maybe the mid, yeah, they did 3 years ago. I know that much. And it's insane. I think people say, Kim, do you think that we're going to get reparations? I say, people won't even admit we're racist. It's like, reparations is here. We're here. They won't admit that we live in a country with systemic racism. Last I checked, half the white folks in America think they're the victims. Now, that might have changed drastically with some rude awakenings, thank goodness, that have been happening to wake people up. We can't ignore it anymore. And people like Colin Kaepernick, that's why they pissed us off so much, because we couldn't ignore it. We just want to watch our football players. We don't want to think about, we want them to play football. We want to watch for our entertainment. We don't want them to have human rights. That's ridiculous. But just to play football for us. And that's where a lot of white folks are at. Not everybody, but enough that look where we're at right now. Look who's in our White House doing sick shit. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to be on a rampage tonight. So let me get more comments. Nails and glitter. Have you ever seen Gone with the Wind? Blatant is how it's always been. Just saying. Global entertainment. I actually haven't, but maybe I'm sure a lot of people have. No. Talk about the video from last week. Remember? Yes, I remember that. We will talk about that. Absolutely. And I started to talk about it a little bit, but you can jump right in. I will read whatever you say. The having Biden pick his running mate kind of took over the whole news cycle, obviously. But this I am not done with this John Brown thing. I've watched it 3 times now. Read a ton of stuff on it. And if you don't know about him, he's the first real abolitionist that I read about. And I'm sure there's others probably. But again, I don't focus on white folks. So he's definitely my first white person I focused on to learn about. But oh my God, he was the real thing. Actually a humane person. He didn't just think, it's kind of cruel to do slavery. It's kind of mean. Like, we don't really want them near us. But no, he was like, these are my sisters and brothers. This is inhumane. This is absolutely sick shit. And I am going to dedicate my life to it. And he did. And there are no words. So, and we can talk a lot about it. A lot of people look at him as a criminal. But you know what? Slavery was legal. And it's a crime against humanity. And so is systemic racism. So we can't go by this legal stuff because clearly legality and humanity and morals don't seem to work together too well. Let me take more comments and questions. But yeah, no, I have not forgotten. I'm so sorry. We were supposed to do a lot of that, but we kind of got sidetracked with this. But I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff. Global entertainment. Don't you worry. I didn't forget about it. Kelly says it's all a matter of priorities. 100% right. I just kind of skipped back a little bit. Nails of Glitter. We shall remind her of that awesome documentary. Yes. We have a bad signal. I'm so sorry. Mr. Best Black. Well, Kim, I'm sure you already know by now how I feel about Biden and Harris. I've expressed a few times how disillusioned I am about voting. And you know what, Mr. Best Black? A lot of people. God, I get so many people saying the same thing. I think Trump's going to win because of that. I think it's going to be the folks who just can't do it. They just can't do it. And I absolutely get it. Personally, I cannot comment on what I talk to white people. Okay. I tell them what to do with regards to racism if I know better. Okay. I do not tell Black people, brown people, Indigenous people how to be, what to think, how to feel. It's not my place. It's called being out of my lane. Obviously, I have my own very strong personal feelings about levels of evil. Okay. Levels of evil. But I'm going to read some really interesting opinions. And every last one of them, I get. But right now, in my opinion, our democracy is at stake. and I don't know if you guys have studied about what it's like to live with a dictatorship. I mean, a real dictatorship. I know we have an oligarchy. I know it's getting there, and he's above the law, at least at this point he is. But if we think we have it bad now, anybody, oh my God, when he gets to be the dictator, because that's where it goes. It's like the fall of Rome. It only goes one of two ways. We either put social programs, become humane, or we become a dictatorship. And like we're locked out of every other country practically. I bet anything he locks the borders down. He is following in Hitler's footsteps, and we're all living through it. So my big thing isn't like who's better, because yeah, they're not ideal. They really aren't. But we have a man who's already shown us what he's going to do. I just pray to God people can learn from their mistakes. And I'm not talking about Trump and his clan, because they clearly aren't even at the point where they think they made mistakes. It's so surreal. Okay. Mr. FS Black, I feel what you're... Kelly, I have friends from Canada, Germany, etc., and they feel sorry for us. They have better safety nets. They cannot understand why our government is operating so poorly. Kelly, absolutely. I totally get it. And that's a fantastic comment, because it's really true. So poorly. No, I gotcha. Exactly. I don't get it either. My friends from England are like, seriously? My friends from Australia are just like, oh my God, this is, you guys, we have normalized insanity. And a lot of it's because there's just too much to go on. It's just too much happening. I mean, I don't know. Mario says, indeed, Timothy, and you will get a public outrise for those sweet white children. Yeah. Are you talking about for my rant? Yeah. Yeah. Probably. It's just, I cannot believe that this is going on, that we're actually doing this when we have a wealthy government who could get every one of us. Incoming. Let me see. Hello. Want to just see something? Boop. Can you hear me? It might not work. Hello. Hello. I might have to call sound again. I might have to call. Let me just see it for a second. More. Sorry about this. For some reason, I cannot hear you. Okay, try again. Hello? Somebody's trying to call through is what's happening. Somebody's trying to get through so they can talk to me, which is wonderful. Oh my gosh, I've had more trouble tonight. Sorry about that. I hear it. Hi, can you come help? We're having calls come in and I can't hear Skype. Thanks. He's gonna kill me. We can get this because I can hear it's coming from somewhere. I just can't tell where. I'm sorry. Just hold tight and we'll do this. No clue. I'm sure it's something I've done, probably. Anyway, I apologize. I'll keep taking comments while we wait. So yeah, if you see little blonde kids getting, COVID and being sad and scared, of course. That's how it goes. Really sick. Great point, Tim. Great point. Vernon, this Congress they're also worthless. Yeah, the Congress is basically they're an assault against humanity. Personally, can you help me?
What's the problem?
I have. Sorry about this, you guys. I have Skype call coming in and I can't hear it, but I can almost hear it. So maybe.
Speak up.
Is this okay?
There.
Yep.
Volume's up.
Yeah. Whew. Don't you make fun of me. I have the speaker on. Thanks. Any chance? Just cannot hear. Oh, yeah. Press that again and see what happens. Hello? Give me 1 second. Don't hang up. Got a lot going on here. What'd you do? Hello. Hi. Thank you. You'll get extra pay. Hi, welcome to the show. Have I inspired you to say something? What do you have to say? What's going on?
How you doing? Can you hear me? It's Mario.
Yeah, Mario. Awesome. Great. Good to have
First
you.
of all,
Absolutely.
I'm checking out your show. It's pretty dope, very informative. I appreciate you let me come on your show. Thank you.
Oh, thrilled to have you. Thrilled to have you. Take it away. This is what the show's here for. That's awesome.
Definitely. You've made a lot of great points. And since I am an African American male, retired military 20 years, I think that at this point in time, when we talk about whether Trump is going to get reelected or will the Democrats pull away, that's a lot. That's a great conversation. I think that the Black community honestly needs to figure out what are the priorities for the Black community. What actually do we want in the Black community? I think that if we don't show up to vote, I think that's going to be an issue. Somebody said that the racism is the new pandemic, and I think that
it's not really new.
I wouldn't call it the new pandemic, but I think that's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Right now, I think that there's a lot of things going on. I'll use Chicago as a head in regards to Black people kind of being outraged to a certain extent. However, that outrage is being pushed in a direction it should not be pushed. And I want to be clear with this when I say this. The Black community needs leaders. They need community leaders able to take charge and articulate the frustration that's going on in the Black community. I think when you have young people that are angry, that are looking for something to rally behind, I think that just attacking police officers, just burning down buildings and looting is not going to send the message to white America that there is a conversation to be had. And I think that we do more to cause fear than we do to cause conversation.
It's a real tough balance, I imagine, because, as a white person, it's not our place we are supporting the conversation. We are not leading. We are not. So it's really hard. I hear what you're saying. And these people on the other side, I guess, of humanity is the way I look at it. Not that you're saying that. Often will grab at anything and basically use it for propaganda. African American and Black people have every right in this friggin' world to be absolutely enraged. It's just right now we're in such a rough spot.
It's great, Kim. It's great to be. It's great to be upset. It's great to feel emotional. It's great to act out. But at the end of the day, what do we accomplish? You understand what I'm saying? If we talk about the art of war, it's about having the least amount of casualties. And right now, the Black community, if you look at it, the Black community suffers a great amount of casualties because there's no strategy. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of anger, there's a lot of action, but there's a lack of leadership. So when you have leadership, those are the people that we used to pride ourselves on quoting every Black History Month, the Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther King, those people that were a part of big activists in regards to the civil rights. We do not have those people in place right now to speak for the community and articulate anger and frustration. So therefore, when you act out, and that's what's going on right now, a lot of acting out, whereas even Caucasian people are kind of like, I understand your frustration, but is there anyone within your community that can articulate what you guys want?
A lot of the white folks are looking for our own, because we are supposed to support, but it's not a monolith. And this is a really tough thing. We've this systemic racism stuff. Oh my goodness, it's the depths of it are so unknown to so many white folks. I mean,
I think it feels good to be able to talk to someone that's a part and deeply rooted into white America, and hear them say, Black people, we want to hear your message.
That's
But it
what I'm here
also
for.
has to
That's
be
what I'm here for. Yeah.
someone and something that projects this is our message. And our message can't be we just gonna burn down a bunch of shit,
Right.
but it's not strategic.
Right.
If I burn down a lot of KKK buildings, then cool. If I go burn down
Right.
Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, cool. But if I burn down the stores that I frequent to buy my baby's milk or the stores that I work in, then that's not cool. So we just need to be a little bit more strategic in our attack for equality. So I just think that's one of the biggest issues. We can put whoever we're gonna put in office, but at the end of the day, we know that people are going to do what best works for them. I think that this Democrat push to have a Black woman, I think it's strategic, and we know it's strategic.
Yep.
However, just because we put Black people in office doesn't mean that it's going to be good for the Black community.
No, absolutely not. And, one of the things that one of the fellows that I follow, you're making excellent points. I appreciate you so much. That's why I'm like, this guy, you got to know this guy. One of the things that one of the fellows I follow, which I'll talk about later, says is this is the beginning. If we get Biden and we have to be all over them to push for I want to see personally, and it's not that it's my business, but I wasn't going to vote for anyone unless they have a serious Black agenda. I want to know exactly how systemic racism is going to be dismantled. Personally, that's my thing. I want to know. I want to see it written out. I don't want it vague. I want to see it.
That's an awesome statement. However, not only yourself, but the Black community needs to stand up and say, how are you going to dismantle this systematic racism? What are you going to do? And until someone or something or some body of people demand, what is your fix? I think right now you got to understand this, and I'm going to say this again as an African American male. Just having an African American woman who's half Black or whatever the case may be in office, that's just not enough. I think that we still have to hold this person accountable and ask them, how are you going to make things better? It's not just about putting someone with a percentage of Black inside the White House. It's about putting someone in place that's going to actually say, I'm not going to lay down or bow down to politics that destroy the Black community.
Yep. I want to see somebody personally that says this ends with me. I want to see somebody. This ends with me. I might be a dreamer. Thank you. But you're making excellent points. I appreciate
you for having me on. Let me get out your way.
Oh, you're
get some
fine.
more people on. Thank you.
You got to come on for the you got to come on to be a guest host sometime. Okay. You're wonderful.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I'm gonna continue to watch.
Okay, cool. Thank you for calling. That's really
Bye-bye.
wonderful. Oh, that's so exciting. I love when people call in. Thank goodness I finally caught it. Anyway, excellent points. There are, as a white person, and this is how I was mentored, and this is what I truly believe. Obviously, we have opinions, but we do not know better than the people who are living this. We definitely have opinions. We don't know better. And the fact that I'm on a show like this, talking to people and they're listening is great. But they need to be listening to the people who are living this. And that's why I do the show. I want to know what you think. I want you to come on. I want you to call in. I want to use my white privilege to get your voice out there. What could I possibly say that's more important than what you, as a person living in America, have to say, as a person who is not a white person, but a person who is subject to this incredible, oh, there comes somebody. Okay. Hello, welcome. Thanks for calling. Got a little echo there. Can you hear me? Hello. Uh-oh, I lost him. Darn, almost. But anyway, so wonderful. I am just wanting to expand this, and my goal, as a lot of folks know already, is to, oh, there we go. Okay, try again. Hello? Can you turn off your sound for the show? And
Hi, Kim.
Hello. Because we're getting an echo. Hello.
Hey, it's Don. I
Hi.
called to chime in and to
Thank
help
you.
out with the conversation any way that I could.
Thank you, Don. Awesome. Don is a regular, wonderful, wonderful friend of mine, and thrilled to have you here. What do you think of all this? Tell us what it's about. What do you think? Uh-oh.
Well, I'd like to augment your previous caller had a lot of good points. The only thing I would like to emphasize is that there are two things I'd like to address. First of all, the nonviolence. I don't believe that the agenda can be successfully pushed forward unless we stay in a nonviolent mode. And I know that everybody's frustrated, and I know that there are significant emotions that are very extreme flying around, and people feeling like that no one's been listening, and that tremendous egregious things have been done to the African American community, and the instinct is to lash out.
And he was agreeing. I think he was agreeing
And
to not do that, wasn't he?
Just
Don?
as Dr. King had said,
Yeah, he was agreeing with you. I think.
nonviolence is the way to actually get progress going.
Mhm. Yeah, unfortunately, it's like people.
The other thing
are
I'd
so
like to
done.
address
Yeah.
is with regard to having an African American in a position of power. People were frustrated that Barack Obama did not do more, but you need to understand that part of diplomacy is compromise. And you can't just go in with a brickbat and wipe everything out in trying to push your agenda through in a way that singularly enriches, even though certainly there's plenty of reasons for it, one specific group.
Well, I think
At warp speed.
Don, part of the problem, and obviously it's, I'm speaking what everyone knows, is it's just been so overdue. It's been centuries overdue. And people, how long do you make people be patient? So, you know that.
Oh, I agree with that.
It's so, I kind of get, I mean, my God. These are humans. How long? How many? So, but yeah, absolutely. And I thought Mario, and correct me if I'm wrong, was agreeing that violence is not the answer. I believe he was in agreement with you on that. Our last caller, but yeah.
Well, he did mention that striking down.
Oh, that's right. Right. Like a KKK building or a.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I gotcha.
Would be authorized, and I don't want any of those people to be able to come back and paint us with a broad brush saying, see how they are,
And
see what they did.
Right. That's what they do.
And that whole argument to then shut down the rest of the story.
Great point.
In order to keep. In order for the agenda to keep moving forward, we have to be model citizens despite all of the egregious, horrific things that are happening against us in the meantime as we try and continue to go forward. This administration has thrown us back more than 50 years in terms of progress that was made. And it's absolutely horrific, the injustice that has occurred, the emboldenment of people in power that have felt literally to put their hobnailed boot on our neck, to put us down and continue the genocide and the other horrific acts that are going on in the systemic racism in the criminal justice system. I still see people that are totally confused and totally unaware of what's really going on with the kneeling as just one example. And it's absolutely, it hurts my heart to see that people are so out of touch with reality that they don't understand that it has absolutely nothing to do with disrespect for the flag, for the country, for the military, or any of those issues. It's all about racial injustice and the systemic racism that goes on in our country that continues to this day. And because you have a person in the White House that is pushing the negative and misunderstood agenda, it perpetuates that these people will continue to misunderstand, continue to be passionately, emotionally involved in that misunderstanding, and even spread it to people like the Kanyes and so forth that are totally confused, totally lost in the world, and can't sort out fact from fiction with regard to what really needs to be done in terms of moving things forward.
Well, propaganda is so strong and so powerful. It's crazy. The propaganda, I mean, this administration, more than a lot of others I've seen, just has this grasp of, it's almost like evil genius. So, yeah, excellent points. And you, as a person, retired military, another person, I mean, I really respect what you're saying when you say this. You get it. And if anyone's seen Don on the show, he's spot on. So, is there anything more you want to say while we got you on here?
Sure. I'd like to address the fact that as long as we're talking about this, I think it's extremely important that people be very aware of the gerrymandering, the voter suppression techniques, the investing in voting machine manufacturers. Ivanka Trump, Mitch McConnell, Jeff Sessions all had huge investments in the voting machine manufacturers, so much so that they are receiving dividends. That's what it's called, dividends from the stock options that they have from their enormous. Now, what could possibly go wrong if they have such a huge investment in the voting machine? The closing, the restricting of voting locations in colleges, universities, and minority neighborhoods. That is just horrific stuff. There's still a 95% suppression in Kentucky where Mitch McConnell is. He is flagrantly cheating in order to try and win re-election. It's crazy. There has been nothing done in fact, there's been blocking done by the GOP to enact any regulation that will restrict aid of foreign nationals or any kind of voting security.
Yeah, Don, I read at the last show, I read your rant and it had that in it. So
okay,
if you want a summary of that, somebody keeps calling while you're on. I'm not sure how to get rid of that, but I'll get better, guys. Bear with me. But Don, excellent points. These people, I mean, I once went over, Don, a list of over 2,000 conflicts of interest written up by attorneys. And it was a daunting list because that's how many there are. Litigation is how this administration likes to tie things up, and that's what they do. But yeah, I that's my biggest fear, Don, as we've discussed privately, is that that's exactly what's going to happen. Is they're going to, I listed 20 in the last talk show. I listed about 20 things that are happening currently that he's getting away with for voter suppression, gerrymandering, on steroids. So
the other thing is the post office. The hijacking of the post office and inserting this puppet postmaster general so that blue state ballots can mysteriously disappear. This is absolutely horrific. Not only that, but they've taken out the sorting machines at the post offices so that everything slows down to a prehistoric halt.
People have
It
noticed
is
already.
an absolute abomination of humanity for the people that are dependent on timely delivery of their medications to have the post office totally shut down and mishandled intentionally with zero consideration of the secondary consequences of this action with regard to people missing their timely medication. There are some people in the middle of a pandemic. We could have people go room temperature because they're getting untimely delivery of their medication.
It's criminal, Don. I can't agree more. It's criminal on so many levels. There's too much to talk about. Even it's excellent points, and you know, this is happening, people. This is happening, and what I mean happening is our nation's going down, and I don't know. It's not my place to tell anyone really how to vote, but I'm telling you right now, what we have.
Fortunately, it looks like both sides of the aisle are going to try and intervene to try and do something about this, but so much damage has already been done and is continuing to be done. We're now in a catch-up situation in the middle of a pandemic where everything on a regular basis was as bad as a holiday season rush. Now we have the holiday season rush from now through the election and through the actual holiday.
I'm really not sure how people are going to get to vote. I'm still confused how, it's state to state. I don't get it. I think he's going to, I guess, succeed and get away with this again. That's my personal opinion. But anyway, Don, you have excellent points. Absolutely. And I got to get you back on here too.
Thank you for letting me voice a few concerns.
Oh, absolutely.
God bless you and everything that you do.
You're very, very valuable.
And you know that I'm a big fan and a big supporter.
Thank you. You've just been
amazing. And anytime you want me to come on again, you know that I will do my best to arrange my schedule so that I can do that.
Thank you so much. Don, you're wonderful. Thank you. Great wisdom as always. All right. We'll talk soon. Thanks.
You're welcome. Take care and God bless.
Thanks for calling in. You're wonderful. All right. Somebody has been trying to break through for a long time. So yeah, Don is everybody just, we can't give up on our fellow humans. It's so tempting. Somebody was trying to break through, so I'm sure they'll be calling any second, but I want to go on with some comments. Until then, let me see. Kelly, if you're still here, I know way behind. Greedy corporations mentality running our country. Yep, we've allowed it. Citizens United. Corporations aren't people. They aren't. Businesses are there to make money. We have to have checks and balances. Great points, everybody. Nails and glitter. Timothy, try again. That's too far, but can be worded. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Tell me later. I'm not sure what you're saying, my sweet nails and glitter. Vernon, this Congress also there. Okay, that's right. This Congress is disgusting. I actually wrote a letter 3 years ago asking how they can live with themselves, because I don't know. I always thought, like that we get the best of the best in politics. This isn't the best of the best. You do not stand and watch and partake, because there is no neutral. Well, anybody, I don't care if they're president, I don't care who they are, does something inhumane and cruel and do nothing. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, independent, we're human first. And that is what has enraged me the most personally. We are human first. And it's just not our value in America. At least not for a for a lot of people. So the Senate, mostly obviously, has sat and allowed all this. They are absolutely guilty as hell, in my opinion. Worthless is a good word. I am so disappointed in them. Not that I'm like this mother to them, but I'm just, there are no words. They have made me lose my faith in humanity. And I have so much faith in humanity. I always keep a glimmer of hope. But they have made me lose it. They have the chance to do something that's just ethical, moral. I'm not talking religion. I'm talking being a human. It's a gift to be human. We don't just have to go by our instincts. We can actually use critical thinking skills. We can get really, oh, hang on. We can get, I was about to let them on. We can get really, really mad. And they're going in and out. I'm not sure. Maybe they have a bad connection. Try that again. Hello. Are you there? Hello? Hello? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the show. You've been trying to get through.
Hey. Yeah, finally, man. You made some good points earlier, but listen.
Yeah,
Remember the Aldrich Ames case when the betrayal United States about the electric chair? This orange motherfucker needs to go to the electric chair because he was a Russian mob. He is, embarrassing the United States. He is just a load of crap. He is worse than a piece of shit. I hate this man so much. And people bitching
feel like
about
you don't like him much.
Kamala Harris
Sorry.
being chosen as vice president of the United States or being on a ticket. Listen, a ham sandwich or roadkill conveys running dead. We need to vote for Joe Biden because he has experience, the knowledge, and when the pandemic was there, he was in charge of taking care of things. 2 people died during the Ebola crisis.
Right.
Right. And we'll have a pandemic team.
I think a lot of Americans don't know that. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of Americans don't know that.
He got rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you talked earlier about the show about, trying to, talk to Trump supporters and reason with them. There's no reasoning. People like that deserve a bullet in them head. Why? Because they're stupid. They're ignorant.
It's frustrating. I
swear to
feel
God, I
you.
never cursed so much in my life. But this orange piece of shit needs to go. He is an abomination. He is disgusting. The way he treats women, the way he treats minorities. He got to go. So, people listening out there, sorry for cursing, but we need to get our shit together and support Biden and Harris because we're going to get 4 more years of this asshole that's in the White House. And we're fucked.
We'll be calling him king.
There's no coming back.
Yeah, we might be past the point of no return already. I don't know. He's circumvented the Constitution on so many levels. Great points.
I'm sorry.
Great points. Sorry about that. But yeah, do you have anything more to say? That was absolutely spot on. I respect what you're saying. Not everyone agrees. It's a really tough thing. People are just so emotional about this, and it's understandable. This is insanity.
Yeah, so I just had to rant and get off the chest because Mike Pence. I look forward to the debate between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was true enough and spit him out. She's a
did say she was gonna prosecute. She did say that. Yep. Which
I think annihilate his ass.
Yeah.
You should come out of the closet, though.
Oh gosh, yeah. Don't even go there on this show.
Republican Party.
Yep. He has a lot of things we could go after. Not that, but yes. I gotcha.
And it should be lined up against a wall. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just I digress from that. You can leave it to your imagination. But they're just a load of shit. I hate them.
I hear you're furious.
We go out there, we campaign, we canvass, we get the vote out, and we vote their asses out. And when Biden and Harris is in, we're going to do the diligent investigation, and people are going to go to jail. No pardon like what Gerald Ford did for Richard Nixon. That motherfucker needs to be in prison. Okay?
Understand how you feel.
Okay.
We also have to continue.
I feel better now.
Okay.
So we'll talk later.
I'm glad. Thanks for calling in. You're wonderful. Take care. All right. That's my friend. And he is on here a lot. All right. So let me keep going here. Global entertainment. We could talk about 45 for days. Let's just get to the root of the problem, shall we? Yeah, he needs to be out. Kitchen politics. I have given up on reasoning with Trump people. Um, yeah, a lot of people feel like there's, the Democrats and the Republicans are just both one and the same. I personally believe there is levels of one and the same, but you know what? I'm not here to tell you how to think. Um, this is crazy. I personally believe that our Democratic, if Trump is reelected, whether he actually is or he just cheats to get in, which is very very likely, that our Democratic, any form of Democratic Republic that we ever thought we had, oligarchy, or whatnot, is done. He's made it crystal clear he wants to be king, dictator, wants people to bow down to him, and he's circumventing the Constitution. He is a mob boss swindler. We have put a person in the White House who will be the end of our country. And I have absolutely no doubt about that. I don't want to feel that way, but it, kind of seems like we're over. I don't know if they can even undo the things he's done if, the next people come in. But one of the most important things, I think, and one of the people I told you that I absolutely bow down to is, I'm going to go right there, right down here. If I can find his spot where I am. Just 1 second. I apologize for the delay. There we go. Is Robert Reich. And it might be a good time to read about what Robert Reich has to say. He is an American economic advisor, professor, an author, and a political commentator. He does videos. He's really cute. He's a good drawer too. He's a professor at Berkeley, California, for a while, and he served in the administrations of President Ford, President Carter, and President Clinton. He was the Secretary of Labor from 1903 to 1997, and he was a member of Barack Obama's Economic Transition Advisory Board. And he wrote a very, very quick, off the cuff opinion on his platform when the pick was made. And at first I was kind of, when I heard what he said, but then I started thinking, if everyone could just get this mentality, if there's any way that Biden and Harris, as imperfect as they are, can get, we just have to get this man out. This is what he says. And I'll read this and then I'll go back to comments because I really want to read what you have to say. His comment was this: congratulations to California Senator Kamala Harris, Joe Biden's official pick to be vice president. Here's some of my initial thoughts. And he keeps it pretty real. It's a historic choice. Harrison is not only qualified, she will be notably the first woman of color to ever be on a majority party's presidential ticket, and it's about time. Problems with her prosecutorial record have already been discussed during the primaries and will most certainly come up in the general election. They already are, obviously, over and over. This could be a big problem, given Biden's role in the 1994 crime bill and other criminal justice positions in the past. And we must just keep pushing to do better. He actually says, we must keep pushing them both to do better. Not just, phew, it's over. We got our people in, as fallible, as imperfect as they might be, but actually with the vengeance we have towards getting Trump out, and these are my words, not his, I'm kind of jumping in, have this type of attitude towards pushing them. It's status quo of what it was before is not okay. While she isn't the most progressive pick, he went on to say, she is left of Biden and she is clearly movable. We need to work together to push the Biden administration left and build progressive power within it. Obviously, I agree with this. The work doesn't end when we kick Trump out of the office. In fact, it'll just be the beginning, is what he's saying. Corporate media will employ age-old sexist and racist tropes with Harris on the ticket. You know they will. We must be aware of these and immediately call them out when we see them. With Harris as VP, her California Senate seat is now open. We should be pushing for progressive champions. And he lives in California, so I'm fairly certain he's a Berkeley professor, like Katie Porter or Barbara Lee, to replace her. Perhaps most importantly, he goes on to say, Harris is tough. She knows what it means to stand up for working people. She'll fight for higher wages and health care for all. She'll take down the worst, most inept, most corrupt administration in the history of America. I'm ready to help her. I'm ready to help her and Biden to get the job done. And that was what he said. Is it fair? Is it balanced? Does it sound right? He's a real smart guy. Those were his initial comments. I have a feeling he's probably already put out more things. I follow him because he's an insider that gets it. He gets it. He wants progressive. He wants systemic racism done, over, dismantled. I truly believe he's a great man. And he's, been a leader. So let me get back to all this and then we'll go on. I just wanted to jump in there with that. All right. Comments from everybody. Global Entertainment says there's no good on both sides. And you know what? That is probably true. But you guys, this is the hand we've been dealt. When I read Leslie's, my friend Leslie, who I'm doing some series of shows with, that I hope you come to enjoy and know her. She had a really good point. I'm going to jump over to hers in a minute, but let me get through some comments. And I think she really made a good point. I mean, I get everybody. It's kind of a curse, but I get when people say, from all the sides. The only thing I don't get, and that I will never, hopefully in my lifetime, ever have to agree to disagree on, is my fellow humans' civil and human rights. That's where I will not agree to disagree. In my opinion, as a white person, having lived a long time on this planet, you don't screw with people's human and civil rights. No. It's just, I will not. If I don't, I can't. So I don't know how to explain it any better than that, but if you believe that some groups are less important than others, then I don't want you in my life. I don't want you near me, my family, my kids. I don't want you near people I don't know. And that's how strongly I feel. Being a humanist is the top tier. Everything else, Democrat, Republic, Independent, is below that. And so people always say, "Oh, angry soccer mom, you should go and debate a Trump supporter." There's no debate in my mind. If you vote for a person who is inhumane, racist, misogynistic, bigoted, cruel, you are racist, bigoted, misogynistic, and cruel. And I'm talking about voting for him again, okay? And you can say, well, what if I vote for Biden and I think those things of him? Well, guess what? We're in a real screwed position right now. We don't have the luxury of the ideology that I'm talking about, but we did. I don't know if we ever have. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, if you are a staunch advocate for Trump, I don't want to debate you. There's nothing to debate. I don't debate my fellow humans' humanity. And what am I going to say? What, you're an asshole? That's my point. Point one, I have no points to make. If you're inhumane and you want someone who is cruel and has shown us that he wants to be cruel to our fellow humans, I want nothing to do with you. So I'm not going to be debating a Trump supporter. I did find a video from a fellow that I will try to debunk. and I'm going to make one of those because I want to try to get into. I'm trying to build my audience basically, so that white folks and non-white folks can have their voices heard. It's important that they don't hear my voice, but they hear the voices of the people living it. And that's why I'm going to keep reading comments right now. And a lot of folks don't want to come on right now. They feel unsafe, and I totally get it. So I'm going to keep trying to do this, and maybe in a couple of years I'll be down in a corner just kind of going next, answering phones, and I would be thrilled. Your voice is what matters, and you don't have to be famous. You just have to care and want to be heard. Okay, so let's Gary, his fans praise his great response and criticize the governors who actually tried. On Friends with Disabled, Friends with Disabled, let me see here. Friends with Disabled daughter said Cuomo was holding her hostage because the virus is no big deal. Yeah, it's. I am thankful for Cuomo personally, for how he stepped up to the plate. I don't know much about him, but all I know is we needed leadership in New York State. I'm from California, so way over in New York now. We needed leadership, and it was very, very scary for a lot of us. And I believe he gave us, he might not have made the perfect choices for everybody, but he gave us leadership. And he was definitive, and he was real, and he was transparent. And I know a lot of people don't love him, but from what I saw, he did a hell of a lot better than our federal government doing nothing, or worse than nothing. So anyway, yeah, that's a toughie. Global entertainment. One is super corporate as hell. The other wants socialism for everyone. You see the dichotomy. Now, I think some of the other candidates for the Democratic nomination wanted more socialism, which personally I am absolutely for. 100%. We have capitalism on steroids in this country. We are working for free for the wealthiest elites, every last one of us who's not a multimillionaire, and they're loving every minute of it. And so the only way to stop that, I think, is to build social programs like we need. It's not fair in a country this wealthy that, I don't know if you've seen the statistics on corporate owners and CEOs. You know, they used to make a certain times the amount of their workers. It's out of control. I should just do a video on that. It's out of control. The middle class is just dwindling. We have for-profit healthcare in America. We profit off of people's sorrow. We have for-profit prisons. With this kind of system, my God, you can't win. And this is happening to already people who are numerically oppressed in America to begin with. And if you're white and you think this isn't happening to white folks, you're not paying attention. A lot of times, these horrific things are happening in greater numbers to white folks. It's just because we have a majority that's bigger. But statistically, if you look at the percentages, the impact is just so much greater for Black, brown, and indigenous people. But you think white people are you don't think a police that wants to be nasty and horrific and racist to a Black person because they can, think they don't get pissed one day, and if they're arresting a white person, say, they know, they have immunity, they can do whatever they want. Yeah, right. Think again. It's just the percentages are astronomically higher for brown, Black, indigenous, and people of color. But see, that's what I don't get. Every white person should want to stop police abuse and murder with impunity. Everyone. Who's against that? What the actual, what? What kind of a person's, no, I'm pro-abuse. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm rattling on and on. White folks who are into that are basically working for the wealthiest elites for free, and they thank you for for your service. It's how it's always been. I think we could wake up, and this could be the generation where we dismantle the bullshit. I don't know. You tell me. Lakeisha, oh my gosh, it took long enough for me to say hello to you. I'm so sorry. Gary, great comments. And Global Entertainment, I hear what you're saying. Ghost Killa, hello. If you're still here, I'm like getting down to Kelly. That is what I have called it. Fox News from day one, state TV. Absolutely. Okay. I'm missing some because it keeps scrolling up. Let me get through some more comments and then we can jump into some other. Let me see here. I lost my place again. I'm thrilled, everybody's. While you're waiting, if you want, this is so crazy, but I'm trying to learn. YouTube will get my videos to be shown more if you press the little like happy faces and stuff like I don't know. Somebody else can explain. I'm really bad with technology. Gee, can you tell? But let me just scroll up. Wow, I'm missing a ton of stuff. Just got to get back to where. Oh goodness, I found it finally. Okay. Kitchen politics, the bottom line, racism. This is why they vote for the orange POS. Okay, yes. Timothy, anything Rupert Murdoch has problems? Anything. Rupert Murdoch has problems with legitimacy. Tell me more. I'm not sure what, I want to understand what you're trying to say. That's the piece, Kim. Racists still support him. Yeah. Global Entertainment. If you really want to know why 45 does what he does, just research what his father did to him. He has no empathy. And well, yeah. He's got a mental disorder. Something's wrong with him. He's untreated. He's untreated, and he had a horrible childhood. I know a little bit about that. And absolutely, he's untreated, and he has codependence all around him, being yes, people, yes, whatever you want. He's scary. He likes to get revenge. He likes to get, how shall we say this, people back, which is revenge, but he also he has things over people. He holds things over them. It's really scary. And Kelly, I'm a white person saying this. Yep, no, you are so spot on. I get what you're saying. Life Journal, hello. There's a number of white folks who seem to think Black people deserve what they have or have not gotten. Abso-stinkin-lutely. And what I say to them, and I hope you're still here because that's absolute 100%. That's actually what I did for a number of years, is worked with those folks. And those folks do not know their own racial history. I hate to say it. They don't know their own racial history. They believe what we were taught in school was the truth and all, nothing but the truth. So help you whatever. Well, no. We have whitewashed history. The truth is absolutely skimmed over if it's even mentioned. They don't know what redlining is. They don't know what sundown towns were. They don't know what black codes were. They don't know what the Devil's Punch Bowl is. They don't know the clause in the 13th Amendment that allows for enslavement. They don't know. They're talking from an ahistorical perspective. And you're absolutely right. And some of them just don't want to know. That's all. I'm a teacher that's what I used to do for a living. It's what I still do for a living. And I was under the impression that if we could just teach them, I was this like very naive, very, white privileged woman, and I still am. I learned something every single solitary day, if not 2 or 3 things about our racial history. And I do this all day long. So you got to understand, when people do bad things, really bad things like evil, cruel, sick, they don't want to talk about it. And history is written by the winner. So we are still discovering every day some of the horrors. And people think, oh, well, after emancipation, emancipation. Oh my God. That is, have you ever heard of the book, Slavery by a New, I mean, okay. After emancipation, some of the most horrific crimes against humanity started. And yes, I know, enslaving a human being and deeming them not human, that's screwy stuff. But afterwards, especially when the troops pulled out of the South, um, the compromise that allowed that was devastating, just devastating. Um, we have so much to learn. Anyway, I'm blabbing. Listen to me blab. Absolutely. Um, if I had my way, I'd make this comprehensive education, preschool through 12, not once a week, every single day for 1 hour, K through 12 for all schools. And it would be taught as anti-racism, anti-bigotry, and we'd learn our real racial history. And you know what? In one generation, we could undo the cycle of systemic racism, because that's what it is. It's a sick, sick cycle. Most white folks, I hate to say this, I'm just going to say it. They don't even know race is a human construct. It's made up. It's not real. We're all the same race. So, I mean, as white folks, I hate to say it, we're really, for overall, a very low understanding of anything. So when a white person believes their opinion is equal to somebody who actually knows racial history, it's ahistorical, and it's kind of, no, not all opinions are created equal. They're just not. So it's a toughie. But anyway, I hope that kind of is getting at what you were saying. Nobody deserves to be treated inhumanely. Nobody. But absolutely, that's what Life Journal. That's what it seems like, doesn't it? Like they think, oh, they just deserve it. We created inner city poverty. We, meaning our government, we purposefully did it, knowingly. It was legal and fine to do, and we did it, and we made it so Black folks would have to struggle so much harder to accumulate any wealth, so much harder to get educated. Because think of our tax codes. The infrastructure of the city you live in pays for the tax base, at least part of it. We set up the system so that Black folks they wouldn't have their equity. They wouldn't have a fair chance. And we're still doing it. That's why people say it must be dismantled. Dismantled. So anyway, look at me. I'm blabbing. Okay, Timothy, please, you know exactly that. We all expect more from white people. They just gave us Jesus. But Jesus wasn't white. They gave us white Jesus, but we get, I guess. And I'm not sure, Tim, I love you. I'm not sure 100% what you're saying. So, and I want to know. So tell me, just spell it out. Let me see. And I get a couple more comments. Do you think Angel, do you think America is being judged for their sins? I'm not religious, personally. If you're asking me, anyone else wants to comment, jump right in. I'm not religious at all, not in the least. So I don't do the you're a sin thing. I think we aren't being, we should be judged. Everyone should be, judged. We need to act human. I don't know if it's judged, but here's my bottom line. For good or for bad, the founding fathers made a document that was a brilliant, brilliant document. Okay. I know that maybe personally, many of them, not all, but most of them could not live up to this document. Okay. And if you go to the Jefferson Memorial, it says it right there. He basically admits it, that he couldn't live up to it in his own life. And many others couldn't, like we discussed earlier. Can you still be brilliant and have written a brilliant document that changes over time? They knew slavery was ending. They knew. they wrote the document to make it that way, the will of the people. And so it's up to us to make sure that our politicians are listening to the will of the people. And that's why I'm into education. But sadly, I think a lot of people are not following, they don't know our Constitution, they're not educated, they don't understand that the checks and balances are imperative. We have to have them. And we've seen a lot go on, but I've never seen it like this with the Trump administration. He's circumventing, he's doing a power grab for the executive branch on so many levels. I don't even know where to start. But yeah, I don't think we're being judged for our sins. I think that we're finally needing to face them, and it's about freaking time. And that is the one silver lining of Trump. If you're white in America, do not tell me you do not see systemic racism. You're full of shit. If you don't see it, unless you're hiding under some rock somewhere, or what, obviously there'd be somebody, maybe they're hiding under a rock. You know what's going on. There's it's kind of interesting. Jane Elliott puts it so simply when she says to her audience, and she's the one that did the blue eyes, brown eyes experiment in the way back when, which would be like, she'd be in jail for doing that now. But this is what she says to her audience. Raise your hand, if you'd like to be treated the way we treat Black people in America. And she says it twice. And her audience is mostly white folks, and nobody raises their hand. So her point is, do not tell me you don't see it. Do not tell me you just didn't know. How would you like to be treated the way we treat Black people in America today? And no one raises their hand. So on some level, we know what's going on. I don't hate white people. I don't want to guilt white people out. The way I look at this is, it's called being human. It's a gift to be human. We don't have to follow our instincts. We can think. We have this really cool thing called critical thinking, and it hurts a little bit. Hurts some of us more than others. Some people are smarter than others. It's just the way it is. So some of us have to work a little harder. Okay, I'm talking about myself. I have to work a little bit hard, but okay, I accept that. I'm not crying. I swear. And we need to use our humanity. Use it. And it's a gift given from, if you believe in God, it's a gift given. It separates us from animals. You can be upset, you can be mad, you can be angry, you can want to kill someone. Yet you don't do it. We don't have to react like this. We can think and delve into things and analyze. Okay, I am on a rampage. Oh my God. Shut me up. Okay. So no, I don't think it's their sins, but I think it's called evolving, and technology's just getting better and better, and humans need to step up to the plate. And in America, we need to step up to the plate and be the forefront of humanity. Right now, compared to like nations, we're in last place. Liberty and justice for all is a goddamn joke in America. It's a joke. We live a lie. So I just personally don't like living a lie. So that's where I'm at. But good question. Let me see. Jesus wasn't white. Yes. And that's a toughie for people. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. Yes. Welcome to the show. Hello.
Is this Angry Soccer Mom?
I am. But I'm not really that angry right now. But welcome to the show. What's up?
You sound really far away.
Well, I might be.
Just make sure it's not on my end.
You seem okay.
And I saw in the chat someone else had said they can't hear you very well, and I had you all the way turned up.
Oh, okay.
So,
How are you? I know who this is.
But I can barely hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Let me see. Can you hear me better now?
A little better.
Okay. Well, I will try my best. Hopefully, you'll be talking, and I won't be. So, but your voice is coming through great.
As long as you can hear me.
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, and you know me. I like to put my 2 cents in, because it might not be the same 2 cents as everybody else.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to comment on something. I think it was Kitchen Politics said earlier,
mhm.
and he said something about we have to save our country. That we have to vote for Joe Biden to save our country.
That might rub you the wrong way. How did I know?
So yeah, I disagree. I think this country has never been a democracy for me. This country has never been diplomatic to me.
As a black woman,
This
'cause
country has never been nonviolent.
people can't
to
see you.
me.
See, as a black woman, is that what you're talking about? Because people can't really
No.
see you.
No.
No, just as a human?
I mean, this country has never offered me the same freedom that is written in that document.
Okay. Gotcha.
You know, when the police can come into my house, kill me, and there's no slap on the wrist, nothing is done.
Mhm.
That's not what the Constitution said. There's nowhere in there that the police can just randomly kill you for no reason. The police represent the government. So my argument would be that I don't have to vote for anybody because this government has never, ever considered me, and it's never represented me. So I guess as a black person, and I don't know what you watched today, but I caught Phil on the African Diaspora News channel.
No, I didn't get to watch him today.
I caught him earlier live.
I didn't get to watch Phil.
And he basically said, Democratic Party, if you really think that you're going to bully us into voting for you and Kamala Harris, like, you're barking up the wrong tree. You need to be making promises and serious promises.
I'm waiting for a black agenda. I want to see a black agenda. And I think they should be pressured into it. They should be pressured into it. I'm sorry.
Like, I'm not voting for Joe Biden. Right. Not going to happen. I don't. There's two directions this country can go. We can either go fascist or socialist. I don't really care which anymore. I'm more looking at getting out of this country. That's where I'm at. I've given up because this country has literally beat the hope out of me. With its police and its school systems and its lack of knowledge and its racism. It's blatant racism.
Absolutely.
Everywhere you turn.
Right.
You go to work, there's racism. You send your kids to school, you have to explain to a teacher you're teaching my kid racism. You turn on the television, it's racism. They get rid of the television. You go to the store, you're at the checkout counter, you look at the fucking magazine. It's racism. They tell you what's pretty.
It's everywhere.
There's one black and brown person in there now, which it used to be all white people.
Right. Yeah. No,
So,
I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and
You're
clear.
not going to bully me into voting for somebody who voted for the crime bill. You're just not.
Right.
You know, don't tell me what the person he is now. Tell me what he's going to do. Nothing. He's not going to do anything because he's a neoliberal focused on capitalism. He is a corporate stooge.
Yeah, well, and there's
that is
this
what Joe Biden is.
symbiotic
Nothing
relationship between.
I hope he wins, but nothing will change.
You've given up. I can hear you. I hear you. I get it. I mean, as much as a person like me could get it, I get it. Thank you for this is what I'm here for.
I just had to put my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Because it might be a different 2 cents.
And you know what? We need that. And you have every right to, and your voice matters and your opinion counts. So I'm very glad. You know I love you. Okay. So thanks for calling in. You did great. I think it's important. And
I didn't even tell you all the reasons why I didn't like Kamala. That's what I was supposed to tell you.
Well, I'm going to actually get into it later, so you can even call back. Do you want to?
I'm having a different day.
Okay. Thanks so much for calling.
Right.
You're wonderful.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, you guys, there is no monolith in this thing. People have their own feelings and they are absolutely entitled to have them. Let me see. Let me go back here. Yes, Jesus was not white. No, no, no. And I have one of my videos says, I actually say, and I don't mean to be like mean and rude, but I like go, you might want to sit for this, people, because my videos are for white folks. What am I going to tell black people? That I don't live this. So therefore, I'm trying to help white people understand that it is our responsibility, racial responsibility. Like Dixon White says, racial responsibility. We're here. Yeah, we didn't create it, we didn't do it, but by doing nothing, first of all, we benefit from it. And secondly, doing nothing means we're perpetuating it. There's no neutral. It is not enough to say racism's really bad, and it's not enough to be nice to everybody. You say, I treat everybody really, really well the same. Well, that's a really great start, but that's not going to dismantle systemic racism. I'm sorry. It's not. You need to learn. If you're white, learn this stuff. Learn how to debunk the 30 most classic, cliche, disgusting denials of racism and teach other white folks. Start teaching our real racial history and the truth. If you don't know our real racial history in America, if you're a white person, then you do not have an understanding of what's happening today. I am sorry. I know I sound rude, but you don't. It's not possible. This was all done historically. And you must know the past because it's still happening. All right. And you won't have an understanding. And that's part of the reason why a lot of Trump folks, in general, I hate to say it, but they don't do a lot of critical thinking skills. Some of them do. I mean, I can't speak for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people, but I'm just saying the stats are saying that a lot of the folks that vote for him aren't into being highly educated. And no, it does not have to be at a university. You can educate yourself. And many, many folks who didn't go to the university are brilliant and have educated themselves. But I'm just saying, I don't think it's a coincidence, right? We've got to use our critical thinking skills here, people. Let me see here. They gave you a false idol. America's the land that serves all other gods. Okay. And remember, I'm not religious, so I'm reading what you're saying, but I don't really know how to respond to it. Lucky me. I'm playing the innocent card. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Jesus looked like he could have been African American, and we don't really know exactly, but the fact is that the man named Jesus was from the Middle East, and people were brown in the Middle East, and it was extremely rare to travel more than 200, miles away from your home ever. So yeah, he was a brown person, and we reinvented him, not we personally, into a white person, and oh my gosh, just kind of went from there. Let me see, Jean. Oh my gosh, thrilled to have you here. I hope you're still here. I'm very disappointed with Biden choosing Kamala Harris. Yeah, I figured a lot of people are. Gus Killa, exactly. Angels. Okay, I knew you'd relate to that, Gus Killa. I knew you would. Mr. MS Black. Legal and right are two different things. Vernon. John Brown was the epitome of an, oh my gosh, ally. Oh my gosh, I'm going to kill you, Vernon. What you, I don't know what you're just putting your, okay, wait. Of an ally. Great. Okay. Okay, wait a second. Vernon. Okay. He split this up into like four things that might have been an accident. I won't kill you. I'm just kidding. Let me see. What's the number to call in? I think you have it, Mario. Oh my gosh, I'm behind. I got to catch up. Because you called in, you can welcome to call in twice. Totally fine. If you check out a lot of my videos, they're for white folks. But sometimes I go into the history, and a lot of people who went to public schools didn't get the history. So I mean, they're for anybody. But I don't tell Black people, brown people, or Indigenous people what to think, what to feel, how to solve the social issues and the rampant systemic racism in every area of society. That's out of my lane. That's using my white supremacy to be like, well, I know better, and I don't know better. no white person knows better. Okay, so let me just see here. Oh, RGF Town One, hello. Thank you for being here. Angela, our role is to stand in the gap. Black people will be free when given the freedom to build their own system. Yeah, right. Um, I think I know what you're trying to say. We can only try and hold off and educate our people. That's kind of what I'm about. Is my role is to get as many white folks to catch on to this is really screwed up and to wake up and see what we're doing to our fellow humans. And I promise you, it's not good for us either. We just don't know it. And the worst fear of the wealthiest elites is what we're doing right now as we speak. Is that black, brown, indigenous, African American people and Caucasian, I guess is a way to put it, people will see a similar plight and unite. And unite. And that, oh my gosh. Hello. Hello. This is so exciting. Welcome to the show. I can't hear you though. It's bad. Can I try again? Cannot hear that person. Let's try again. Hello.
Hello?
Hi. Welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, absolutely. I can hear you. What's up?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. I thought I got disconnected last time, so
Nope.
I tried to call in again.
You're good. What do you have to say? Welcome to the show. Sorry, I'm screaming.
Hey, thanks for having this live and everything. Sounds like you're talking about mixture of things between Biden with Kamala Harris and everything. What I wanted to say about that is I totally get it. Everybody's upset with Trump, especially we're talking about racism and everything. But at the same time, people need to not forget about what Joe Biden did back in the 90s, which disproportionately affected Black people, especially Black men, with that crime bill. Mm-hmm. So that's something to think about because, yes, I get it. Trump, he did what he did. He's very racist. He did a lot of anti-Black things while he was in office for the 4 years, and he's trying to defend that again. But at the same time, Joe Biden is no better. So it's like you vote for one guy and it's anti-Black president. You vote for the other guy, it's anti-Black. So I don't know if it's really wise to fight over who gets that vote, but it is very important to vote locally because a lot of states, especially I believe Georgia, they have Black representatives and everything. So I think that's the most important part about the vote, in my opinion, right now, is more of the local stuff for a lot of states. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure how you felt about stuff like that as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're making excellent points. And it's sort of funny because we have so many comments that I'm trying to get to all that. But yeah, no, excellent points. Totally legit points. We don't have amazing choices. We just don't.
I agree.
And that's a really tough thing. But I know for me, I believe one is trying to dismantle our Constitution and destroy our nation. The other one, the other one needs to get with the times and show us an agenda for Black, brown, and indigenous people, and show us an agenda that is going to dismantle this insanity. That's just my opinion, but yeah, no, we have tough choices, but I hear you.
Yeah, thanks again for holding this show and everything. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate the fact that you're one of the few that actually is trying to make a difference with, like you said, white privilege. So again, keep it up.
Thank you.
I like the videos you put up about the cops a few days ago. I did not know that with the police unions and how they basically were getting rid of any evidence against them with police misconduct and everything. Mm-hmm. So
they just
thank you very much and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
You're wonderful. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Sweet. Yeah, the video that he's referring to is a video that shows exactly how it works or doesn't work, for actually probably more accurate. Police that do horrific things basically move on and start all over somewhere else. And it's disgusting. And they know it. And it's a video that's up. I don't know what it's called up, but it was eye-opening. Not that I personally didn't know that, but they showed how systemically it works. And I was like, damn. I mean, talk about perpetuating racism. These people did cruel and horrific things to Black people. They knew they could get away with it because they could just, sure, they might be fired. Nobody knows their past. I mean, people, there are so, and I know you guys know this, there are so many things, little easy things that can be done. I did a video about a year ago. Basically, it had 20 simple things that can be done, even if we can't dismantle anything. These are basic common freaking sense. Common sense things. Like, well, anyway, go watch the video. I was blabbing in that video. It was a research video, and I researched the all the studies. There's been social studies done. Obviously, this is a huge topic, and people have studied it. Very smart people have studied it, and I was blown away. So I did 2 or 3 videos on what we can do. Dismantling is part of it. It wasn't part of those videos, but that's a whole other thing. But there are things we can do. We, as a society, don't want to. Because you know how I know this? We'd have done it if we did. We'd have had it done. You know, kind of actions speak louder. You can talk all you want, but I want to see an agenda. I want to see a Black agenda. I want to know how they're going to dismantle things. I want to know how they're going to help get the equity, not more than everyone else has, just a chance, just fairness. It should have been done centuries ago. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me see. Burn-in. Okay. Let me just. Global Entertainment says racism is the pandemic, period. Ronald, I don't know if you're still here, but I hope you are. I am so behind. Racism happens all over the world, as one could see with the protests around the world. And it does. And a lot of people, actually, Global Entertainment, have said to me, I get this all the time, racism is just natural and normal, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I call bullshit to that. No, that's an excuse. Not you personally. I'm not going after you. That is such a convenient excuse for white folks. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's just keep doing it. Excuse me? Not buying it. Nope. I've seen amazing things happen. I have had people in some of my beginner groups who have literally been raised by Klan. And as they grew up and realized that they're their own person, they've realized that this is wrong. They don't know where to start. They come into a learning environment that's fragile. I allow fragility in this one group that I used to run because not everybody is you. And it's lovely to say no fragility and this, but some people will leave. There's got to be something for everybody. So I had this woman. I'll tell you a quick story. She came in and she was about the minimum. She had the minimum we would do to even take somebody because you have to want to learn. She wanted to learn, and the transformation I saw. Oh my God, it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. And she finally left the group because she said, I can't take these newbies anymore. They're saying, I don't see color. No, I can't take it. I got to move on. And I was like, move on? That's what you move on and go teach people. And I do not believe for 1 second that this isn't absolutely taught. It's a cycle of racism. Let me see. And Global Entertainment, don't get me wrong. I know that's not what you were saying, but that just kind of sparked me. Vernon, oh my gosh, you did it again. Okay, get you for this. We can vote all day, but if the white people we vote don't have a black agenda, it's meaningless. I read it. You're just messing with me, aren't you? Absolutely agree with you. That's the thing. But stop doing that. I don't know what you're doing, but you see what he's doing, guys? He's like writing, you're in trouble. I agree 100%. Done. The Skype deck, queuing in, waiting for acknowledgement. Thank you. Ah, got it. I'm so behind. Okay. I am going to go down, 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 down. Hopefully I'm catching everybody. Kelly, this is Biden's greatest fear about Trump corrupting the voting process. Yeah, well. Jillian, oh, I hope you're still here. How was your day today? Hope you're well. Thank you for being here. If you're still here, I'm thrilled. I'm so sorry I'm so behind. How are you feeling on Biden's pick? Personally, I think everyone by now knows I'm an anyone but Trump, have been since the moment I learned who he was. And I didn't watch his shows, his little show that he does or used to do. I heard of it. It seemed extremely shallow and rude. And I had heard that a lot of New York people thought he was, because that's where he lived for the longest time, thought he was a horrible human being. And all I had to do was look up his name. And before I even looked into him, I looked up his name, and guess what came up? The Central Park Five. What he did to those kids is absolutely depraved and inhumane. And for those of you who don't know the Central Park Five, I'm not going to tell the story, but I have a bunch of videos on it. It is the cruelest, sickest thing. He had nothing to do with it. He wasn't personally involved. He happened to live in the town, in the city. But he took it upon himself to spend his money to make huge full-page ads, basically tainting the jury pool. A woman had been horrifically beaten and attacked and sexually assaulted, and they couldn't figure out who did it. And there was a lot of pressure for the police. And anyway, I won't go on, but let's just say they forced these young teens, they were children, they were, mostly young teens, into confession by tricking them. Their parents weren't there. It was horrible. They had never been in trouble before. And he puts out in all these newspapers that everybody's reading how they should have the death penalty reinstated. And it was absolutely purposeful for them. Finally, the person who really did it, who matched the DNA when these kids never did, after they, had their lives ruined, guess what Trump had to say? You did it anyway. You said you did it. And that is the first thing I learned about Trump, is that he was the one with the Central Park Five. And that is all I needed to know. I was like, this man is a sick, sick pup. And then, lucky me, then when he started, I mean, it was kind of obvious, I thought, but I guess not, because he's here. But when he started campaigning, saying that his campaign was all based on taking away the human and civil rights of my fellow humans, I'm like, okay, we got Hitler Roman numeral 2 coming up. And I can't believe it was so obvious, but yet here we are. So that's why I'm an anyone but Trump. I would vote for a pet rock. I would vote for anyone but Trump, because he is truly a horrible, and plus I won't get into it. I could just go on and on. I'm with Vernon Bishop on this one. Obama didn't get a pass. He did DACA with executive orders, so he doesn't get a pass for not doing anything specific for Black people. Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying that. And I was actually looking that up today, and I'm going to do further research on that. And I think everyone had a lot of high hopes. And I know he was kind of stuck at every turn because they weren't going to let him pass anything. He passed a few things. He got, but it was nothing that, I guess people expected. They expected so much more. And I can't answer to that personally, not that you're asking me to. It's because I don't know the intricacies and ins and outs of getting something passed. I know McConnell has a stack of things on his desk that he refuses to even present to the Senate, like 400 things. So I mean, these people are game players. They are politicians. This is not with the people's best interests in mind. This is crazy stuff. It really is. But yeah, no, I hear you. That's absolutely legit. A lot of people have been saying that. Jillian. Nope, I already read that. Sorry. Ronald, my feeling is that if Biden doesn't bring a Democratic controlled Senate into office with him, it's going to be more business as usual. That's my biggest thing, is business as usual. I don't think he's going to circumvent the Constitution and try to become a dictator like Trump is. That's kind of my thing. I don't think he's going to. I really don't. Trump, absolutely. I think we'll be calling him King Trump. I am not kidding, or whatever title he demands if he wins. I think we're done. It's over. Everyone should get their passport. That's just my opinion. I'm not the most educated in the world. A lot of people know more than me, but I don't think this country can take another 2 minutes, let alone another 4 years of this sick, inhumane, depraved man. I hear you, Ronald. Nails litter. Even if there is a Democratic majority, it'll be business as usual. Biden won't change anything. Uh-oh. Jamie, you can barely hear me. It was probably like 10 years ago. I'm so behind. I apologize. I'll talk louder. I don't know if that helps or not. Gary, the Lincoln Project. Yes. If you don't know what the Lincoln Project, it's a group of people who got together who actually have integrity. and there's more people than just that. They're Republicans who say, you know what? No, I don't care if he's a Republican. He's a sicko. I'm not doing it. And they've really pooled a lot of money together, and they've done some great videos. Thanks for reminding me. I have a couple of them up. They don't do too well on my YouTube channel, but I love them because they're real, and those are the kind of people I can respect. They're like humanity before party line, and that's kind of where I'm at. I don't care what. If you're inhumane, you do not get my vote. If you make mistakes, yeah, you'll get my vote, and I will demand that you do better. But if you are espousing inhumanity and proud of it, no, because every single decision you make, that's who you are. You're inhumane. And as we've learned with Trump, that is who he is. And we're not privy to every decision that people make in office. What do we hear? Like, some, but there's thousands of decisions that he's making behind our backs, which is understandable. And also he's probably trying to hide a lot of it, which he is. And if he is an inhumane person, that is the number one tenet he's using to make his decisions. And that is scary. So that's why I couldn't believe people voted for him, because he's inhumane. Oh, I just don't get it. And I guess a lot of the white folks thought that like he'd be inhumane to like other people and not them. I guess. I don't know. But I promise you, he's not on our team. He's on his team. Let me see here. I'm going to skip a couple things because okay. Tonics. White people champion the very politicians that vocally and politically bring harm to Black people. These are the same people that swear all day that they aren't racist. The road to hell is paved with ? Right now, we have no choices. I'm going for the lesser of for me personally, it's lesser of two evils, but I absolutely get what everyone else is saying. What so many people are saying is, no, I won't do it. I get that. And I think we're doomed because of that. Too little, too late. Call it what you want. My only hope is that we get those guys in and we are all over them. We demand a Black agenda. Now, not wait till they're in. Demand one. Force their hand. What are they going to do to dismantle systemic racism? I want to know right now. That's what I want to know. And I don't want same as usual. Okay, let me just see here. Kelly, I agree with you all the way. Totally, Kim, all the way. Yay! That's probably like an hour ago. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm trying to get to the bottom so we can move on. I know I'm missing people. Okay. Let me see here. I'm going to scroll back up. Oh my goodness. Smart class. Is Trump really the problem? Racism started way before he got in office. He is, and yeah, that's a great point. And he's the result of us not facing the truth and us living a lie as white folks. He's the problem because he has power, I guess you could say. But no, he did not start it. But he is in a place of power and absolutely taking total and complete advantage of it. He understands his followers. They love him for one thing and one thing only, in my white privileged opinion. He gets them. They are proud white people. And he gets them. He gets what it's like to feel proud to be white. Maybe these people haven't accomplished anything in their life, and the best thing they ever did was to be born white, which they had nothing to do with. I don't know. Maybe they have poor self-esteem. Maybe they were just brainwashed into being racist. I have no answers for it, but he gets them and he feeds them what they want. So he is dangerous. And it's not education. He's not feeding them education. He is setting us up for dictatorship. So yeah, right now I think he is a huge part because he's the wall, if you will, that we can't go forward until he's out. We just can't. He's inhumane. He's bringing us back, and he's just outdone himself. 50 years? Are you kidding me? Oh, we're way past 50 years. I mean, but yeah. I mean, he didn't do it, but we have found this is what I say about Trump. We have found in Trump the de facto modern leader of the Ku Klux Klan, because those are the people, whether in secret or whether overtly, they love him because he gets it. He gets the white supremacy, and he gets that he gets it. So, all right. That's just my take, but yeah, good questions. Tomix, Trump is a problem now because he has all the power. Oh, I just said that. To oppress with a pen stroke instantly and permanently. You said it so much better than me, Kelly. Tomix, exactly. And he's the only light, the fire division. Oh, yeah. And he only lights the fire of division. Oh, he loves it. He loves it. Absolutely. Great points. Gary, smart classy. Trump emboldened the racists and makes it okay to be racist, and he's the problem because he makes it worse. Yeah, he's perpetuating it. He's giving them their voice to okay it. Trump is a gaslighter. When the shitstorm happens, he's comes in trying to look good as though he saved the day. He is lower than dog, you know what? Yes, Jonathan, thank you for being here. Yay! Probably haven't gotten any comments yet. Let me see. Zefi, welcome if you're still here. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And Mahako, I cannot deal. I do not know what the deal is with my volume. I'm so sorry. It's been kind of a train wreck with regards to that. I'm gonna kick a couple more comments here. Maybe that will help. Dwayne, sorry for being late. Oh my gosh, it's absolutely okay. But while I agree with a lot of what Biden-Harris, we need them in the White House to get rid of Trump. Harris must be defended against racist, sexism, gutter racism, internet attacks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. As a woman, I will pounce on anyone who goes after her as a woman. You don't like her policies, you don't like her past history as a worker, absolutely. But don't go after her as a woman. And that's where a lot of people go. As an educator, I can tell you many whites are not taught the true U.S. history. The schools in the South, particularly, are failures. Absolutely. Let me see. I am there a lock. Hello. Welcome. If you're still here, because I'm so behind. Welcome to the show. I'm there a lock, or I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I apologize, but I'm happy you're here. Let me just. A lot of people are talking within the comments, which is awesome. Not trolling when I said that last thing. I adore this woman. Which woman? Which woman? Which woman? I must have missed. Oh my gosh! Now I'm blowing it. All right, let us go on. Frank, thank you for being here. Barack Obama is not a president that represented a black agenda. He was a hand puppet. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Really sad, but as a really tough thing. It's a really disappointing, I think, to a lot of people. The people who run our country, the wealthiest elites, have a vested interest in making sure racism is here to stay. And if you've ever read Michelle Alexander's book, The New Jim Crow, she explains it really well. So a couple of my videos hit upon that. I'll keep taking some comments. Steve. Yay, Steve's here. He's my buddy from college. Hi, Kim. Just wanted to throw in, if Trump gets reelected, time to get your passport. I already said that earlier. Yes. Okay, because Steve's really smart. So if he said it, then it's true. Well, I have mine, but thanks to Trump, where the hell can we go? Yikes. And that is the scariest thing of all. Get your passport if you can afford it. Because if Trump gets elected, look, I'm not like the smartest person on the planet by far, but I do know a little bit about how Hitler did things. Get your passport. Have an exit plan. Because this is not going to be good. If we think that having Trump now is bad, when he becomes all ruling dictator, God help us all. He's a sicko. He's a wannabe Hitler. I'm sorry, he is. He wants to be Hitler. He as much as admits it. I won't talk about the Vanity Fair article where his ex-wife, who's now like not allowed to talk about it, did an interview long ago explaining how his favorite book on his little nightstand was one of Hitler's. And his parents, according to Vice News, were absolute sheet-wearing members. His father was arrested at a Klan rally in full garb. Don't believe me? Look it up. Steve, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm thrilled. I don't want to be like the soothsayer of doom, but get your freaking passport. That's all I can say. If we can even leave, because right now there's just a handful of countries we can even leave to. Let me see here. Oh, what is this stream about? This stream is about a discussion where white folks can learn about the truth about our real racial history and hopefully take an interest and want to teach other white folks and people whose voices are generally oppressed in numerical minority groups in America can have a chance to say what they think. And you don't have to be famous. You just have to care. And people who are non-white in America, their voice matters. In fact, on this issue, their voice matters more than white folks. And I know that's upsetting for some white people, but you see, we don't know how to solve the problems of the people who are living it. We don't know better how to solve their problems. So I'm trying to speak what people have to say so that hopefully people will hear it, because your voice matters. And it's unconscionable that a group of white people continue systemic racism and perpetuate it, and then actually have the gall to think they can come up with a solution to solve it. No, no. The oppressor does not get to be the hero. The oppressor does not know more. Okay, that's what the stream's about. Okay. Yeah, passport. It takes a little while to get your passport through. Jimmy, I know you can't hear me. God, that's awful. Okay. I got to the bottom. I got to the bottom. I'm so excited. Okay. Let me see. Kitchen politics. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nails and glitter. How could you? You added. Thank you. Canada is easier, especially if you have an education. Well, yeah, it is, but you still need a passport, right? Used to be, you could just walk right in there. Even they don't want us. Even Mexico doesn't want us. Steve, nails and glitter. You are right. This is about racism. I'm just frustrated and was being fastidious. Wait, whoa, it's scrambling. As U.S. is totally locked out from other countries, but less his tweet from today too. I missed that tweet, so I don't know. Okay, sorry. I'm having a really, really hard because it keeps scrolling up and down. I apologize. Research residency and citizenship process for multiple countries. Absolutely. I hate to say it, but it's true. Mario, thank you so much for being here. Everybody, Mario called in. It was wonderful to have him. I know I'm blabbing on because this is kind of, I do want to get to some people's comments about what they think about Biden and Harris, but check out his videos. I put up a couple of his videos. I'm going to try to put up more. He's amazing. I found him and said, who is this guy? And he's kind of already famous and everything. He has a huge following on Facebook, but I was looking for him on YouTube, and you got to check out his stuff. He just gets it. So I'm thrilled. I'm gonna have him come on and host a show. Let me see here. Stephen. Getting back to racism. He wrote today the he did that today about the suburban housewife. I thought that was what. Yeah, he is unbelievable. The suburban housewife will be voting for me. Hi, I'm a suburban housewife over my dead body. Seriously, you couldn't pay me. I kid you not, $1 million. No, Steve, you're doing great. I actually heard that. Like, yeah, I heard that, but I thought that was from before when he said, don't worry, we'll undo Obama's plan to have housing equity, and we'll make sure that those bad black people don't come and live in your suburbs. I mean, talk about disgusting. Just disgusting. Oh, so he continued that. He's doubling, tripling down on his disgusting. And you know what? It is kind of a smart move. I hate to say it, because if you're really, really super racist, don't even get me started. White women have been, I'm sorry to say, of all the people in the world on this planet who should support equity and dismantling of racism, it's white women. Yet white women have been historically the catalysts to some of the worst, most horrific lies and abuse to Black people. Women of all people know what it feels like to be thought of as second class. Yet we perpetuate this, and we stick up for our men that are racist, and we don't stand up for our brothers and sisters who are brown, Black, indigenous, and other people of color. And I have a very, very low tolerance, and not that it matters, but I really, really don't get it. I've done a couple of videos that are a little out of control. Steve, you're fine. No, don't worry. I'm thrilled. Yes, low housing income, right. Low income housing is code for thug, and thug is code for the N-word. Thank you, Nails and Glitter. Thank you for helping fill in the gaps. Yep. You're a working femme. Oh, I worked, right. I work. I do. I work outside of the home. No, just kidding. I don't, right. But I mean, yeah, thank you. Right. let me see. Nails and glitter. Plus, he uses Cory Booker, Don Lemon sarcastically and rhetorically asked tonight, why did he choose? Why did he choose Booker and not say Elizabeth Warren? Ugh, ugh, ugh. I'm not sure. I have to check that out. Because I was prepping for this show, I didn't get to see much. Mahako. Redline was absolutely horrible. What people don't realize is because of racism, Black people are always paying catch up in everything. This is why we must put an end to racism. 100%. 100%. Very well said. You should write my scripts. Okay, here's the thing. If you're new to this topic, just really quickly, the history in America. Oh yeah, I know Cory Booker. Yeah, no, I know. The history in America has been such that it is legal to basically withhold the potential to accumulate wealth from Black people through redlining, sundown towns, de facto and de jure job selection. I mean, everything. The list goes on and on. If you check out my videos, I have like a million of them that talk about, I ramble off like 50 things that are historical facts that were legal. Black codes in the South are disgusting. They made it illegal to be human, to live a normal human existence. Segregation, that wasn't just for buses and schools, it was everything. Separate but equal is a joke. Like I said earlier, if you're white and you don't know, details matter, our real racial history, then you do not have a grasp of what is happening now. You can't, because it is all based on horrific sundown towns. Oh my God, that's really screwed up. Who let you out of the kitchen? Oh yeah, if you know me, which you do, I do not need to be in the kitchen. I would poison people. They'd be lucky to just get sick and not die. I have a question for you. What made you want to stand up against racism? Many white people choose to say nothing or just stay neutral. I'm just curious. Great question. I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about me, but I won't. I noticed it when I was 6. I was raised in a colorblind era where I see people, I don't see color. And I was like, okay. And no, my parents never uttered a bad, like, racial slur in their life. Neither did my grandparents. I didn't know a single word. I didn't know there was even a thing. I was a little bit of an out of it child. And I noticed when I was 6 and nobody said a damn word. They didn't teach me anything either. So I saw it and I thought I was the crazy one. Because I saw that we were being mean to those people. I didn't know who those people were because I couldn't kind of put it together, because skin tone for kids is really a taught thing. If you had said, are those people different skin color, maybe would have said yes, but it didn't register for me. I was a slow child. So I felt very alone. And when I was 12, I started catching on because I started reading things. And when I was 18, I got introduced to, not personally, but a person who worked with Jane Elliott from the Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes. It changed my life because I realized for the first time, the crazy one. I didn't understand why people weren't helping to stop this. I didn't get it. And then I went to school, and I graduated in applied behavioral sciences, which had multicultural studies in it of all different areas, Native American. I mean, it was just opened up, and then I was like, that's it. I'm in. Started working for Compton Unified School District as one of my first jobs. Saw the real effects of serious racism to these beautiful, my first children. I didn't have kids. I was like 24 maybe. And they were my babies. And they were, I used to say, Bush was one of the Bushes was the president at the time. I used to say to myself, give me a week with that man, 1 week, and make him see what these beautiful, brilliant children have to endure just to go to school. that was when they boasted the number one murder rate in the country. And you know what? It was all redlined. There was no infrastructure. There was no grocery stores. And the next 2 years later, the riots happened, and everything was burned down, the entire place. And we were off for a week, and everything was burned, but not our school. And so I had to come back to 38 little children. That's how many we had in the classroom, no books. 38, well dressed, very fancy, bright, beautiful little human beings, and explain to them what happened. And so I took the next week off from all curriculum, and we talked about it for 1 week straight. And they were just babies. They didn't know what's going on. They were scared, and they were babies. And we talked about it, right and wrong, what's good, and racism. And I didn't know anything, but I knew I wasn't doing curriculum with these kids. They've been traumatized. And these kids had parents who worked 2, 3, 4 jobs. I mean, they were such hard workers. It was incredible what they were having to deal with, all because of racism. So it was really bad. Anyway, I want to thank you for your comments and questions. It's really nice of you. But I have tons of videos on this on my channel. And I really wanted to read 2 more things. I hate to do it, but some of my friends, my friend Batosh, who's very scholarly in my mind, and I really respect. We don't have perfect agreement on everything, but we don't have to. He wrote something, and I want to know if you relate to it. And, he's pretty hardcore, I guess, in the sense you could say, but that's where he's at. It's a continuum. For white folks, it's a lifelong continuum. We'll never know what it feels like to live in a society based on systemic racism, built on systemic racism and based on it. But we can keep learning until the day we die, because it's the right thing to do. Because we care about our fellow humans. So this is what he says. So you might have a comment on this. And this is my friend. The pro-slavery, anti-Black minstrels known as the Democratic Party and their police state continue to consolidate and strengthen to fight for the seat of U.S. president. As we knew long ago, Jim Crow Joe Biden picked anti-Black, South Asian, this is his words, not mine, top pig Kamala Harris as VP. 2 slave merchant middlemen foaming at their mouth, waiting to uphold and perpetuate chattel slavery for the next 4 years. Sit back and watch the messiest shit show unfold in the final episode of the 2020 season of Democratic political theater. That is what he said. No Black agenda, ? No vote. Okay. Yeah, Jamie, you said you can't hear me. I don't know what's going on. I wonder if other people are having that. I apologize. Everything's up as high as it can go on my end. So I'm not sure. But everyone, I'm so sorry. I'm not sure. My engineer's asleep. I'm not sure what's going on. I want to read a couple more if you guys can put up with me blabbing. And I will definitely look into it. Jimmy, I'm sorry. That stinks. Here's something somebody said. Trump's been such a failure and disgrace to the nation. Biden has pretty much free range to choose anyone. If he chose Suzanne Rice, it would have been a better pick also. No, Mike Pence is going to have a hard time debating Kamala Harris. It's true. These are people who are obviously going to vote for him. Another one from a person who wrote in. Can barely hear me. I don't know what. Everything's on high. Maybe that's my signal to be quiet. Let me just see something. Does that help? It is. Can you hear me now? Now can you hear me a little bit better? Thanks. Sorry, guys. This is crazy. Now you're back. Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you, guys. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. All right, I'll try to yell a little bit. Just going to read a couple more of these, and then we can wrap it up. I am so sorry. I will do my best to work on figuring out what happened. Oh, excellent. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. So I think I did better. Yay, sorry. Here's what somebody had to say. Trump's already rattled by her, already saying negative things regarding her. What a total jerk he is. Get this guy out of here. Oh, good. Okay, good. Thanks, Ronald. Another comment. She's not my preference. I'll vote for them because to not do so is a vote in favor of 45. We can't take another 4 years of him. Here's something somebody said. Intelligent, savvy, strong, capable, and uniting. Will obliterate Pence on the debate stage if Trump doesn't dump him. Now, a lot of people are saying they want to see Trump dump. I mean, people who just want revenge, they're like so upset. She has such an evil track record. This is somebody else. 2004 to 2015 of targeting and incarcerating Black people at a highly disproportionate rate that after the announcement was made, it was the nail in the coffin for me to go green 2020. Along with pedo Biden telling me that I'm not Black enough is all I needed. This two-party corrupt system needs some balance. Here's another person. According to my friend who is an attorney, a lawyer, we are in too much of a constitutional crisis not to vote Biden. If you want change, take the Senate and local elections. And I think that may have been the person who called it. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. My friend Leslie has something to say. And when I first read this, I was like, huh? And now I get it. And this is what she said. Kookie217, do you have any advice for whites who are called traitors to their own? Oh, I get called that all the time. And you know what? Great question. Somebody calls you a traitor to your own. What they need to understand is race is a human construct. We are all our own. We're all in the human race. Race is made up. It's made up for exactly what we're doing is to be racist and to be horrific to our fellow humans. We're all related. According to the Human Genome Project, we're all being white. Okay, Black people were first, okay? And then came white people. And I have a video on it if you want to watch it. We're all the human race. We're all related. So there's no traitor. They're confused. They don't understand science, I guess. I don't deal with people who do that anymore, but bring a traitor to the white race means you are a champion for. Being a traitor to the white race means you are a champion for humanity. Well, because there is no white race. There's no white race. I don't know how to explain it, but it's an excellent question. Yeah, I might actually try to do a video on that. And I'll get my wording better. And that's an excellent question. Somebody like that is very far gone. They are so low on the anti-racism scale. I don't even think they're on it. So I get called a race traitor all the time. And I try sometimes to explain that race is a human construct and it's made up. we're all in the same race. We're not different races. So it's really being traded to the white race means you are a champion for humanity, right? I mean, because there's no white race. It's a word that's made up so that we can act like, yay, we're better than other people, which we know we aren't. It's ridiculous. Nobody's better than, so it's, but good question. Okay, so let me go. My friend, let me read this. This is my friend Leslie, who is doing a series. Good one, Beef 99. I think that was a well-needed comedy. Thank you. Very good. My friend Leslie, who's doing a series of live shows with me, has the following to say about Kamala and probably Joe. She put parents in jail for their children's truancy against her own staff's advice. She's a cop. He's garbage. Fuck Biden. Fuck Trump. Fuck the DNC. I don't know if I can say this many F words without getting kicked off here. F the RNC. I'm voting green. Trump is horrible. But after a million Facebook arguments with well-meaning white people who think I don't understand that what 4 more years of Trump would mean, I say this again, but plainer. Trump is bad for everybody. Biden is worse for Black people. This is her opinion. If we get 4 more years of Trump, everyone keeps fighting. If we get 4 years of Biden, white people's lives go back to pre-Trump normal. While my people and I go back to pre-Trump normal, which wasn't working for us. And we go back to suffering abuses in silence because they can go back to being ignored and not believed as long as we're all back to normal. I'm not voting for either one of those things. I'm voting green because there are more independents and non-voters than Democrats and Republicans combined. And I hope we prevail. But if that causes 4 more years of Trump, so be it. At least people will continue fighting. They won't under Biden. Trump is just building on and using what Biden created. I'm voting green. And I don't know what you guys think, but I understand what she's saying. Yeah, I understand what she's saying. I think your thoughts are in the right place, but I could never vote Democrat. I think your thoughts are, yeah, no, I understand. Trump has done more in 4 years, more in his first 4 years than any other president. You don't have to agree, but it's true. Done more for who? For who? I'm confused. He's done a ton. He's done a ton of horrifically inhumane things. I don't really get. I mean, are you saying he's done a lot for people who are non-white because he's so racist that he's brought out like the truth for American citizens? I will kindly and respectfully as I can disagree with you 1,000%. But I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just yeah, I know nails and glitter, but it's I don't even know where to start, to be honest, Kitty. To be honest with you, personally, when I'm a humanist, and I truly believe that the root of all evil, like Dr. Paul Farmer says, the idea that some groups are more important than others is the root of all that's wrong in the world. And Trump's parents were Klan. Trump is incredibly racist. He prides himself in being racist. He is incredibly cruel. And so, oh, okay, Marcus. I just Marcus. Yeah, here's the funniest thing. Marcus is in the shadows. Kim, look up Punch newspaper on YouTube. It shows an African American woman who has blue eyes as well as her two children. Proves that we were all the same. I was shocked. I'm not shocked at all because I've read about the human genome studies, and we're all the same race. We are. We just. I can tell you in 1 second, Kitty. That's a good question. Well, Marcus, that's a good question. I wanted to tell you there are many sets of twins, or there's this one set of twins that's really cool, and they show a human construct, and it is amazing. They're two beautiful, beautiful girls. The mom is very, very dark, and the dad is very, very light. And because we're all humans, it's just the amount of active melanin in your body, the amount of active melanin in your body that does it. These girls, one of them is strawberry blonde, white with freckles, and one of them is a beautiful, gorgeous brown woman. And they're both drop dead gorgeous, and they're twins. And oh my God, I so want to put their pictures up to show you. It's the best science we know is that race is a human construct. There are more differences within a supposed group that's a race than otherwise. There's more differences, I guess is the way to put it. But yeah, no, it's good. It can be shocking when you see it. Like, wow. Black folks can have children that come out white, and white folks can have children that come out dark. It's genetics. It's just kind of depends what's in your genetic feature. Genetic blue-eyed, green-eyed Black people, absolutely. And it's amazing the science that we are privy to now. It's a human construct. There was no such thing. Now there is, but anyway, let me take a couple more. I will definitely look that up. Marcus, thank you so much. How did I get the name Angry? My friend and I, who is an author, were joking around because the term soccer mom is like this snobby, kind of stuck up, wealthy, white, kind of gives you this image. And he says, he used to tell me that I look the image, but then when you talk to me, you're like, oh my God, she's so down to earth, not even. And he goes, you should name that as your YouTube. And at the time, I didn't have anybody following anything I did. So I was like, okay, whatever, I will. So I did, because it was kind of a joke. Like, because he goes, you're so not like that at all. And so I kept the name, and now I don't know if I regret it or not, but I'm not angry, but if I'm really, really honest, I'm I feel betrayed by my fellow human. And this is a personal thing, because this is not how I thought things would go down. I think we're better than this. We have to be better than this. White folks, I'm talking about white folks. Racism's gone on and on and on and on. We need to evolve. We need to move along with the times. Technology's evolving, and we're still racist as fuck. It's really disgusting. And I can't stand injustice. Maybe they'll find a gene that makes people who can't stand injustice have that gene. I don't know, but since I was a little kid, it just enrages me to see injustice. And there are very few injustices in America worse than this systemic racism that is in every single area, everything we do. And we just go along like, not my problem. White folks do, most of us. And I find that unconscionable. And so it makes me really angry. I'm just being real. Nails and glitter, we are a human species, the only race. Yes. Yeah, Kitty, there will always be racism, just as there will always be wars. It's human nature, unfortunately. I understand that a lot of people think that, and I disagree. So a lot of people think that though. And to me, in all honesty, I feel that that attitude is a cop out because racism's learned. It's a learned ideology and behavior. And we don't have to be racist. You can learn and grow. And I've seen it, hundreds of people do it. It's very empowering. And it's not inevitable. Look up Jane Elliott's work. You'll be blown away. Or just go onto my YouTube. I have her Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes experiment. It's taught. Human nature or primitive ideology, if you accept that, you condone it. That's what Nails and Glitter is saying. See, I won't accept it on so many levels. To me, it's a cop out. And there's nothing we can do. Well, how convenient is that? There's absolutely. In fact, the two things you can do to try to help. Yep, Kelly, I agree. Is you can educate yourself in our real racial history, and you will see this was all human done. Nobody needed this. It is not natural to do what we did. Maybe greed is natural, but we're humans, and we need to use the God-given or whoever given humanity we have to use our critical thinking skills to fully utilize our humanity, I guess you could say. Let me back up for a second. But no, I mean, good point. You're making good points. Let me see here. Dwayne, the Green Party advocates no is a privileged white for saying about not voting and getting 4 more years if, okay, I'm lost here. Green will not be locked in a cage. I am confused, and Dwayne, I want to know what you are saying. The Green Party advocate I know. I didn't see the I. The Green Party advocate I know is a privileged white for saying about not voting and getting 4 more years if, of Trump. This green will not be locked in a cage. Yeah, actually, it's kind of funny because the only people I know that are voting green are some of my Black friends. So they just cannot fathom voting for the other side. They just can't do it. And I'm trying to look at the overall bigger picture. I don't know if our nation can get saved. I think it might be too late. It might be a done deal, late stage democracy. We're done. But if there is any chance, it certainly isn't going to be with Trump because he wants to be a dictator. He's made it crystal clear. Extremely racist. He ran on a racist agenda. He was very clear about it. He's kept all his promises. Every last one of them. He's kept every last one of them, in my opinion. It's not just you, Mr. FS Black. I don't know why, but people cannot hear me very well. And I'm going to probably wrap it up for tonight, but I am so sorry about the not being able to hear me because that kind of stinks. Kitty, no one is born racist. It's personal experience that makes us racist. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see here. That kind of is contrary to there will always be racism just as there will always be wars. It's a human nature, unfortunately. So it's like kind of like they're both competing with each other. No one's born racist. On one hand, you're saying it's human nature, which is nature. And then the other hand, you're saying nurture. So it's kind of confusing. And no, it's not you, Mr. FS Black. I do not know what's going on. Kelly says, Kitty, excuses. Yeah. You know what? A lot of people take it personally and they don't want to face what our society's done. You didn't do it. Don't take it personally. It's not about us. It's about caring and loving our fellow humans. So don't take it personally. Like it's not like you're a bad person because you were born into this just like you and everyone was. We were all born into it. We didn't ask to be born into this society that has our country is based on racism. And the more you learn about our history, the more you'll learn. Like, please check out my 101 series. Kitty, you seem really open-minded. And my 101 series is for people who are just kind of starting to get all this historical racial responsibility and stuff that we didn't learn in school or whatever. And obviously, I don't know what you've learned. Personal experience is what protects us. We learn from them and they keep us safe throughout our lives. Right. But yeah, see, here's the thing. And you're talking about personal evolution. And yes, we categorize to keep ourselves safe. We categorize. But because we are humans, we can also use our critical thinking skills to figure stuff out. And if you know our real racial history, you'll totally get how all this came to be. It's not coincidence. It's not chance. It's all purposeful. If you know what redlining is, if you know what black codes, the Compromise of 1877, sundown towns, they keep you safe. But see, the bad guy isn't who you think it is. The bad guys are the wealthiest elite who, I have to get that quote. I'll do one quote, and you'd think I'd memorized it by now, but the truth is that, let me get this quote. All right, okay. We're trying to keep an open conversation, so let's not get, it's not personal. Please don't make this personal. I know it's very tempting. Let me just, well, you know what? I will find it and I will repost it later. It's a quote. And essentially, it's kind of the psychology of this whole thing. But I wanted to thank everybody for sticking it out with me here, because I know it's really late and my sound is terrible, apparently. My sound is horrible. But I really appreciate you being here. And please check out my videos if you believe, like I do, that it's way past time for white America to educate ourselves on our own racial history so we can understand how the history in our past and current is influencing and creating, mostly purposefully, the problems we have today. And we can be better supports to our Black, Brown, Indigenous, African American brothers and sisters who want, I don't speak for them, but mostly just want equity, not more than everybody else has. They just want a fair chance. And they deserve to have a fair chance. So we can help with that, because they're going to get their equity with or without us. But wouldn't it be nice to help be part of the solution? So thank you. Kelly, I'm so happy you're here. I can't explain to you, you made my night, because I'm just thrilled you're here. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody. And just, this means so much to me. If you believe like I do, and want to support me, all you got to do is subscribe and watch my videos and send them to friends who don't get it. If you're a Black person and you're sick of this craziness and you know somebody who's blah, 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 send them a video. You should not have to live with this society and systemic racism all day and then spend your nights explaining. It's not your job to teach the oppressor. It's our job, white folks. So that's what I'm trying to pass on. So please subscribe, watch stuff, tell me what you think. Even if you think it's, not popular, I want to know what you think. Because we're going to have to really stick together. We're we're going to have some really crazy times in the next couple months. Things are going to be much worse. I can almost guarantee it. I don't wish it, but Mr. Trump, knows that if he doesn't win, he will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. So, but hello. And Kelly, thank you for the conversation. Yay. Thank you, everybody. So just hang in there, and I'll be back next week, and I'll be putting up some videos this week. So hopefully I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here. All right. So check out my site, see what you think, and check out Mario's stuff. And I do stuff with Batosh and Leslie, and I'm trying to team up with as many people as possible. And thank you all. You guys are wonderful. And there's if you scroll up way up, there's a way to get hold of me privately, a personal message through my page on Facebook. All right. Good night, everybody. Be safe. Things are going to get really tougher, if you can believe that. So thanks for being here. Good night, everybody. Thrilled to have so many people.